Woodville 6th and Port Adelaide 4th. A crucial game here at Warrior Oval. Big game for both sides. Max Parker, of course, playing his 250th game for the Warriors today. Fine achievement from their captain. Bursting through was Rowan Smith. He left the ball behind. The pack develops. The bottom of that was Kevin Harris. Number 2 is Tim Dinnever on screen, and Rick Kinnear will bounce. Ball goes up. Johnson got a tap in the back from Parker, but through went Martin Leslie. He was stopped short. Now Phil Harrison over the top of the ball. It's desperate play by both sides in the opening minute of this game. And umpire Rick Kinnear has picked out a free kick, and it's going to Martin Leslie.
Been in fine for Martin Leslie in recent weeks. Elects to kick out to the outer side to high kick. Well sport from behind by Lund. Through comes Andrew Rogers. Rogers' kick is long, aided by a 5 to 6 goal breeze out towards Nichols. Couldn't take that cleanly. Being well pressured. Swings around onto the left boot. Sewell wants it in short, and it goes that way. Oh, he's dropped it. Should have taken that. Plenty of nerves in the early stages of this game. Nichols gets a second attempt. This time he goes long. It's a high kick. Look at the breeze carrying that. It's through. Oh, what a goal. Incredible start for the Warriors. Unbelievable. They had one opportunity. They mucked it. Nichols butted up and he put it through from 60 metres out.
Well, you called it well, Kim. The breeze brought it around. Certainly a 6-goal breeze, it looks like, from here. Favouring the southern end, the end that Woodville's kicking to, and watch the ball swing around. Well shepherded by Bowman in the goal square, and the ball bounced through, and that's the Warriors first. What a great start for them. The Warriors, one straight goal, Port Adelaide yet to score.
And there could be an early lesson in that passage of play already, and that is to go long. Direct football, the only way to go. Parker up high, Johnson with the tap. Down towards Martin, got boot the ball very quickly. Comes out towards Templeton, he's off onto his left boot too. Once again, it's a long kick. Nichols from behind, Phelps front position. Kept his balance well. Well tackled by Bowman. Coming through very hard is Benny Harris. Tackled too high. And the free kick will go to the reliable defender.
Well, Kim, that was good football. He burst his way through, Ben Harris. But Andrew Taylor was the strong body there, stopped him going all the way too. As the ball comes over the top of that pack and out of play. Certainly there's going to be a couple of good duels today. I'm looking forward to Andrew Taylor playing on Martin Leslie, Kim.
Yes, well, both players have been in sensational form. Phelps and Nichols should be another good clash. Of course, Phelps a first-year player. Ball comes down, well taken by Michael O'Brien. A long way down from his forward pocket. His kick holding up into the breeze. Smith underneath it, couldn't take the mark. Rogers did well to get back there. Smith again recovers beautifully, kicks into the ball ace. Back towards Smith. Harvey was there. Didn't use him. Now Harvey's got a chance. Oh, hard body work. Arlen Kennedy it was, in fact. Now it's out to Harvey. Harvey gets the ball on the boot very quickly. It's up high. Over the head of Baker. Clifford at the back of the pack. Over the top to Rowan Smith. In on open goal. It's through. It's 1 goal apiece. Exciting football at Warrior Park.
Oh, what a good goal it was. Set up by some superb teamwork from the Port Adelaide players. It was Arlen Kennedy who burst his way through the pack, got it off to John Harvey. The kick went forward, and watch the work of Bomber Clifford. He read the ball well off the pack. Lucks a fortune over the top to Rowan Smith. On the left foot he went, right through the middle. That's Port Adelaide's first, and scores are locked away. We've played 2 minutes into the first term at Woodville Oval.
And every goal into that breeze is going to be very precious. Back in the centre will be Parker against Johnson. Jennifer and McDonald opposed to each other. It's Parker with the tap, couldn't take it cleanly. This time it's Anderson that does the high screw punt. It's pulling right up into that breeze. Clifford, oh, read that superbly. He didn't get up very high, but the judgment was there. Bomber Clifford, doesn't the crowd love him? In long, looking for Baker. Smith back there. Free kick's been picked out. Player held, and the free kick will be awarded to David Baker. Of course, Baker coming into the side when Dwayne Russell was suspended for 1 match for allegedly striking. Well, in fact, he did strike Kim Plonk last week. Baker's first kick for the game, it's straight through the middle. That takes Port Adelaide on to 2 goals, leading Woodville 1 goal.
Oh, and what a crucial goal that could turn out to be. It's a 6-goal breeze here. And Port Adelaide in the first 3 minutes of this game have been able to score 2 quick ones. The free was for holding. Looked like it was against John Martin, and of course David Baker scored his first goal. Now Port Adelaide, 2 straight goals, lead the Warriors by 6 points.
Unbelievable scenes at Woodville Oval. People still queuing up to get into the ground before the game had started. Or as the game had started, should I say. Jennifer's kick away, Smith punches from behind. Ball comes down towards Rogers again, he punches it, comes out towards Schwartz. Well tackled.
I think Randall Jolly was the player who punched the ball clear, Kim. They look alike. Certainly with the action fast and furious in the opening minutes of this game, it's very difficult to pick up some players as the ball comes back into play. Smith got a hand to that one. Couldn't get it. Colin McDonald tried to gather it. Now Tim Jennifer was held high, but no free kick. And the ball will go to ground for yet another ball up. Desperation from both sides. John Martin, 32 for the Warriors. Smith gets a tap. Ball goes to ground, but there's been a free kick picked out. It's going the way of the Warriors. And it looks like John Martin. The true centre wing position, John Martin. He should kick the ball long. They have a very strong breeze, the Warriors. And that kick is exactly that. It's a long one, but dropping back onto to Stephen Curtis. And the Port Adelaide back pocket player is marked. Left half back, kicking into a stiff breeze. He decides to go long. The kick is high. Underneath that one's Russell Johnston. So too Max Parker, the 250-game veteran. Now Parker's tackled, bundles off the ball. John Martin with a quick kick away. But the ball is out of play and a throw-in will take place.
Very fast opening to this game. In fact, these two sides have met 19 times at Woodville's home ground. Port Adelaide winning 17 of those encounters. Woodville winning 1 and drawing the other. John Martin around his body again to high kick. Silver opposed to Curtis. Ball very close to the boundary line, but just manages to stay in.
Gee, Kim, you can sense the excitement in the crowd. They're looking for a great encounter today.
Well, it should be, David. Both sides have been in very good form. And, of course, Woodville looking for that place in the finals. John Harvey punches the ball along. Haylock over the top of that. McDonald in there, tried to get the handball out to Martin. He, in turn, taps it in the direction of Parker. Parker flicks it back. Jennifer in there. So, too, is Anderson. Taylor, should I say. We have a dead heat. Umpire Graham Hilton will bounce in the right half-forward flank for the Warriors. Parker from behind, big tap down to Rowan Smith. Back turns, quick handball out to Anderson. Well shattered and then by O'Brien. This allows Anderson to run through his long kick to centre half forward. Looking to Smith, found that player. Smith wastes no time, plays on quickly, one-on-one. Baker back there. Oh, well done though. Tremendous player by Desi O'Dwyer. Outpositioned Baker, had too much pace when the ball hit the ground. He clears down direction of Fantasia, held without possession, play on the call. Crude tackle by McDonald into the back of Rowan Smith, and he'll receive the free kick.
Yes, capacity crowd here at Woodville Oval. Exciting opening to this game. It's Port Adelaide, 2 straight goals. The Warriors, 1 goal straight. Punch away came down to Harrison. He went on to the left foot, goalward bound. Bomber Clifford's in the goal square, he's marked. Well, Bomber was lurking at the back of that pack and he read it the better. And Bomber Clifford has marked. Well, don't they love him? From point blank range now, Bomber Clifford. He had the set at the back of the pack and now kicking from the goal square with kick number 2. It's gone right through to the middle. That's Bombers first. That's a crucial one for the Magpies as they now advance to 3 straight goals and the Warriors have 1 on the board. Top action coming to you on 7's Big League.
Certainly is, and you called that well, David. Ball came to ground. First to recover was Harrison. His kick went in long and Clifford was just lurking back there. He didn't appear to be in position, and that ball that seemed to carry into the breeze, and Clifford read it superbly once again.
Yes, it's always easier to call it from the grandstand. Bomber was there and he's gold. They lead by 12 points, the Magpies. The kick comes away forward from Fuller, looking for Taylor. Back there's Greg Boyd, nowhere to go. Onto the left foot now, looking for Rowan Smith. Dropping back on him was Randall Jolly. He couldn't mark, now dives on top of the ball, but in his back was Russell Johnston. Fast and furious opening to this first quarter. Capacity crowd of 8,000 people, certainly getting their money's worth. Warriors go forward for only the 2nd time in this game. Taylor's there, he's getting some immediate attention. from Martin Leslie. Bowman with the handball out. Went on to Kevin Harris. He lines up the goals. It's right through the middle. That's just what they needed, the Warriors. Kevin Harris is first. The Warriors second. They now trail by 6 points. Top action on Seven's big lead.
Well, Kevin Harris can thank Big Max Parker for that goal. Parker did the hard bullocking work. Had to tap the ball out. Had several attempts, but it was Harris who was in the right position at the right time. Ball came down. It was left to little Robbie Bowman. He fed out the handball, and Harris didn't have much time, but he managed to bang that one right through the middle. And I would like to suggest that Woodville will need another 5 or 6 of those in this quarter.
You're absolutely right, Kim. Very strong breeze favouring the Warriors. Kicking to the right of your screen. It's blowing a gale here this afternoon. They'll need to have another 4 or 5 on the board quickly. Johnson got the tap down. The ball went to ground. Nobody could get a clear advantage. Fuller hit Greg Anderson. Now the ball runs free to Rusty Boyd. He gets out the handball. Harrison off the ground. Forward it goes, looking for Darren Smith. The ball was a B-grade bounce for him. Now O'Brien, he'll go on the left foot. It's a dribbling one along the ground. Andrew Rogers comes through. He met Baker solidly. Strong play here. Now Jennifer on the right foot. Goes goalward bound. That's going to be offline, however, and through for one behind. That's Port Adelaide's first point. They now advance to 3 goals, 119. Leading the Warriors 2 straight goals.
Interesting to see what Des O'Dwyer does here. Decides to kick long down the other side of the ground, looking for Parker. Offhand, Sewer in there, first to recover. Gee, he's still got some pace in those old legs. His handball over the top to Martin. His awkward handball has been called a throw. Well, he didn't look confident then, Martin. He looked very awkward in that take. And he did appear to feed that off with an open hand. He knew Sewer was going past and just couldn't get the hands to work quick enough. Free kick taken by Clifford. Out to Russell Boyd, left unattended. Boyd looks for Baker, puts in a long kick. It's a good kick into the breeze. Rogers front position. Another free kick's been awarded. It's going to go the way of David Baker. Being held by the arm. Already has 1 goal. And that was from a free kick as well, so he's coming up for kick number 2. And it's a shocker. Well, about 15 to 20 metres out. No angle at all. And has put in an absolutely shocking kick.
Well, you've described that right, Kim, but let's remember it's easy from up here, and that's a difficult breeze out there. As that kick from Dwyer goes down the centre of the field, looking for Parker now. John Martin gets it off quickly to Templeton. His handball went astray, looking for Harris. Now Ralph Sewer overruns it. They can't do a thing right, the Warriors. And Bomber Clifford has the ball in front of him. Always bounces for Bomber. The clever handball out in front now on the left foot. He's hit after he's kicked it. But no free kick, and the ball's out of play on the full. May have been a free kick. Umpire Rick Kinnear ignored it.
So often we see that, David, the tackle slightly late, and normally the opposing players normally penalised for that, but play on that occasion. Johnson, handball, looking at Boyd. That it was punched away well by Templeton. We'll have a throw in front of the Woodville grandstand.
Certainly an entertaining game here this afternoon already. We've only played 14 minutes it is, in fact, of this first term. Max Parker with the tap away. Von Fuller leads in the race for that. The Shepherd is on. And well applied from Alex Lund. His kick goes forward. Underneath that one's Haylock. Now Taylor feeds out to the running player in Templeton. He lines up the goals. It's a beauty. Right through the middle from Michael Templeton. That's his first. The Warriors need a few more to boot. They now advance the Warriors to 3 goals straight. Trailing Port 3 goals 2.
Well, we've seen Woodville on a number of occasions this year. First it was Ron Fuller. Very calm and collective then. It was well taken by Taylor. The running player was Templeton, and we've seen him on a number of occasions this year, and this fella Templeton, he just does not miss on the run. He's an incredible kick for goal.
Oh, gee, Kim, that's a big statement. Certainly it was a great kick.
Well, he's got the score on the board, David. He is a very good kick for goal.
Yes, I wouldn't argue that one. Over the top of the ball was Russell Johnson. He's bundled off it. Quickly, the kick came away from Borlase, looking forward. It was Jolly who dropped the mark. Now Bomber Clifford has tackled low, but no free kick as the pack develops, and a ball up will take place. Oh, no, it's a free kick. It's going Randall Jolly's way. He plays on. Quickly plays on, looking for John Martin. Martin got hands to ball. Punched away from him by Rusty Boyd. Now Kevin Harris. Oh, he's met solidly by Smith. But he rebounds away like a rubber ball, Kevin Harris, and he kicks forward. Taylor's up, couldn't mark. Stephen Curtis punches the ball forward. Russell Johnson's over the top of it. The quick handball came out. No, it didn't. Max Parker over the top, and I reckon that's a free kick, Kim.
Well, David, just getting back to some of the body work in this game. Look, we saw Kevin Harris. He rode that bump superbly. Then Ron Fuller just put down Stephen Curtis, and he's a sick and sorry man at the moment. And it was all fair. It's great to see.
No big pardons in this game as kick goes forward. Coming out was Rogers. He overran the ball. Now Darren Smith with an opportunity. He handballs it off to the running player in Borlays. Over the top it goes to Alan Kennedy on the left foot forward. David Baker's there. Can he mark? He has. Yes, David Baker. No. Oh, the umpire's called play on. Oh, Baker's not happy. I think he's got to ride two bites at the cherry. It was a mark for mine. How did you see that one?
Well, it was a hard one, David. He certainly had 2 bites at it. I thought he was going to be paid the mark, but it's dry conditions today. As long as they're consistent, that's the main thing. You've obviously got a hold of the day. Boyd up high. Harris off the pack. Over to Fuller. Oh, a little hesitant then. John Harvey's not though. Look at him going through. He's got one the free kick for it too. Well, he who hesitates is lost, and Ron Fuller a little bit slow on his approach to the ball. Kick number 4 for Harvey. Out wide to Boyd. He's got by himself several times there on the half-forward flank. It's an incredible leap, Russell Board, for a small player. Kick in, looking for Baker again. Oh, Smith, what a mark. Drifted in front of the pack, eyes on the ball. Well, he took an absolute perler last week in very wet conditions, and he's taken another big one today. That's a fine mark. Now, we've seen this breeze has been causing problems. Kick number 4 for Darren Smith. Keeps it low. That's the best thing to do. Beautiful kick, Darren Smith. He's posted his first goal. And the Magpies move on to 4 goals, 3, leading Woodville 3 straight goals.
Yes, and we've only played 16 minutes into the first term. The Magpies kicking against a very, very strong breeze. Have 4 goals, 3 on the board. Woodville could only manage 3. They'll need to get a move on the Warriors if they're going to have any hope at all. Port Adelaide will have the wind in the second quarter and they could overrun them. But it's their back line that's holding firm at the moment.
Once again, it's Parker opposed to Johnston. Parker wins out. It's a big tap. Taylor in there, couldn't take it. Oh, a high tackle by Leslie. Free kick will be awarded to Andrew Taylor. He's a live wire for a big fella. Not scared to mix it. Likes to leap at everything. Really has a go. Kick. Oh, Templeton. Great mark. Well, Phelps had front position, but Templeton read it better. Already has 1 goal. Nichols. Sorry, should I say? I think I called him Templeton. Of course, both players from Tasmania. I've done that before. Nichols kick on the way. Kick number 3. There's another accurate kick. That's a great goal. That's his second goal. The Warriors fighting back 4 straight goals, trailing Port 4 goals 3.
Of course, Stephen Nichols kicked 4 goals last week. Here we see that heavy body work. Leslie on Andrew Taylor. Hopefully we'll get an opportunity of seeing the mark. He stood his ground very well, Nichols. And from only 2 kicks, he's been able to notch up 2 goals. There's the mark. He read the ball the best. 4 goals last week, 2 already today, and he's a danger man. Let's see if Port can come back with a quick reply. Anderson read that well, streaming through the centre of the ground. Look at the pace of this fella. Touches it on the ground once. Now spears out a pass. Darren Smith again at the back. Couldn't take it. Fantasia in there. Body over the ball. Umpire Graham Hilton calls that one a dead heat. The 18-minute mark of this first quarter. The ball will be bounced only 15 metres out from the Port Adelaide goal. Baker with the tap. Down it went. Over the top of it was Des O'Dwyer. Coming through was Jolly, but there's been a trip earlier. Looks like Rogers. Rogers now handballs out. The Warriors need to get cracking. They're going a little indirect. Out it goes looking for Colin McDonald. He got hands to ball but couldn't gather it in. Coming through was Arlen Kennedy. Now Bomber Clifford cleverly off the back. The crowd love him. But unfortunately the ball's gone back there, and who's marked it? None other than Alex Lunn. Lunn has the right idea now. He goes long looking for Max Parker. The big fella's up, punches it away. The ball comes to ground, but there's that man Anderson again. He's starting to take control in the centre. The kick's holding up in the breeze. Over the top was Schwartz with the big punch away. Now Ron Fuller, go direct the Warriors. That he does, straight down the centre. Taylor's there at the back of the bag. He's up, he's missed the mark. It's gone over the back. There's Nichols. He'll go on the left foot. Around his body it goes. It's coming around with the breeze. There's a advanced to 5 goals straight. Leading Port Adelaide, 4 goals 3, top action on Sevens Big League.
Oh, it certainly is. That was brilliant play. A big fist away by Schwartz. Ball came to ground and was taken by Ron Fuller. He'd be level pegging with the opponent in Anderson at the moment. Now, Taylor went up very high, didn't touch the ball, so it could have been a free kick to Leslie. But it was Nichols' quickness of mind, ever alert, swung around onto that left boot, and that was an incredible snapshot. That's vintage full forward stuff.
Oh, what a great game it's already turned out to be. Warriors back into attack again. They need to get some more on the board. Coming through is Ralph Sewer. He's grabbed the ball now. He's tackled strongly by Curtis. He got the handball away, called the umpire. John Harvey over the top. Another pack develops, and there's certainly no beg your pardons out there.
Certainly not, David. Little Robbie Bowman at the bottom of the pack there. Of course, Bowman kicked 3 goals in the last quarter of last week's game against West Adelaide. And certainly played a big hand in helping them with a victory. Clifford kicks it out wide. Boyd leads in the chase for the ball, being pressured by Martin. Now it's Martin, in fact, who had the superior pace. But didn't matter because the ball beat both players over the line.
It was an educated kick from Bob McClifford going for the boundary line. Kick number 6 for him. He's certainly in this game. The throw-in comes. Max Park at the front, down to Colin McDonald. His kick was smothered. Arlen Kennedy now ruck roving, tried to get the handball out. But unfortunately, I think it was smothered by, it looked like Greg Boyd, almost his own team man. Graham Hilton certainly going to know he's umpired a game at the end of this one. Max Parker with the tap. Off it goes. John Martin around his body. It's drifting towards the boundary line. It could be out on the full. No, it's been touched before it goes over, says the umpire. Umpire Igor Bray.
In fact, David, it's the younger brother of Graham Hilton, the field umpire. It was Greg Hilton that threw that one in. So we've got a family affair at Warrior Park today as far as the umpires are concerned. Smith front possession, nearly took the mark. Well scored by Rogers. Alex Lana, much improved player, took that one off the ground. Harris went through, clean bowled him. Couldn't do the same to Johnson though. He had his body right behind it. Now it's Anderson again. Thought about the handball. Oh, caught. Beautifully tackled by Lunn. In there's Borlase. Gets it back to Anderson. Had a fumble. Now gets it onto his boot quickly. Baker tried to tap it over the back. Fantasia doing the mopping up. Over to Schwartz, and the Warriors temporarily get out of trouble. Just as well as I said temporarily, because it's Russell Boyd took a fine mark.
Well, you called it earlier, Kim. He's a fine leap at the ball, and that one he got well up and marked. Kick number 4 for him at the back. It's Rowan Smith, and he's grabbed in a specky. Well, I don't know, even the great Russell Ebert would have done a better job of getting at that one. There's silly play, however. He's run it around his mark. Bowman smothered it. Now the umpire's brought back a free kick. Looks to be going Greg Boyd's way. Well, spoiled some good work, Smith. It was a great mark. I don't think he sided Bowman, who came in from the side. Now Greg Boyd, it's a long kick into a strong breeze. It's well placed too, in the forward pocket it goes, looking for Baker. Running through was Ron Fuller, and he's forced the ball out of play. Good strong work by Ron Fuller, playing in the centre today on Anderson. I think Anderson certainly has opened the better, but Ron Fuller's not a player to be underestimated. Now McDonald, he gets the handball away, but was tackled and pushed in the back, and will take a free kick. 23 minutes into the first quarter here at Woodville Oval. It's McDonald, kicks out of the back pocket. Down centre wing he goes. Underneath that one was Parker. He hasn't marked any yet. Templeton with the handball away, goes towards John Martin. There's Bomber Clifford again. He's starring Bomber. Kick number 7 for him. Through he goes, and there's Smith, and he's marked. Oh, when he gets himself into the game, isn't he a dangerous player? I can see now why Peter Marker loves him. Kick number 4, figuratively speaking, Peter. Forward it goes. O'Brien's in the goal square. He can't pick it up. He got a little nudge. No free kick, and the ball is forced out of play for a throw-in 5 metres around from the left point post in the Port Adelaide forward line.
Of course, apart from last week, O'Brien's been a live wire up forward, averaging something like 9 or 10 shots a goal a week. There's a snapshot. Beautiful play. I couldn't pick up the player. Could have been Borlase, I think. Beautiful snapshot. Yes, in fact, it was Borlase. Well, Port Adelaide, what an opening. Kicking into a 5 or 6 goal breeze. And they've certainly taken out the honours in this first quarter as we see Steve Jackua come onto the ground. Port Adelaide, 5 goals, 3. Leading Woodville, 5 goals.
So Magpies by 3 points, but they've kicked into the teeth of a very strong breeze here at Woodville Oval. As Graham Hilton bounces again, Parker's up, but it was Johnston with the tap. The ball went to ground. Now Anderson tries to get the kick away, but couldn't. Running through there was Johnston. Now Colin McDonald, he has the free kick. In fact, it's Lunn. Alex Lunn. He'll go long with the breeze. Forward it goes. No one home for the Warriors. Now Bowman with a quick handball out to Taylor. He ducked underneath it, shot out the handball wide. Coming through there was Michael Wilson. His kick is wide of the goals, however, and only through for 1 point. That's Woodville's first point for the quarter. They now advance to 5 goals, 131. Trailing Port's 5 goals, 333. Top action on Seven's big lead.
Well, Wilson had Templeton and Bowman there to use. Decided to go it alone. Big by Taylor, play on, correct decision. Now comes out to Ron Fuller. He's killed on the left boot. Swings that one around. It's coming back. Not quite far enough. So the Warriors register their second point. They move on to 5 goals, 2. Trailing Port Adelaide 5-3.
Only 1 point the difference. We've just started the time on period. And what a game it certainly is already. The kick from full back is high. It came from Phelps. Underneath that one was Johnson. At the back was Anderson. A clever handball over the top of the running player in Leslie. He gathers in the ball back to Anderson in the 1-2. They're running in numbers, Port Adelaide. That's the difference. Stephen Curtis up from his back pocket. Forward, he goes out wide. It's a well-dispatched kick. Looking for Baker. He got a hand to it. Punched away well. Baker at the bottom of that pack again. Des O'Dwyer has the job of minding him today, and certainly with the ball going forward in the manner it has, it's not an enviable job.
Well, Port Adelaide playing ducks and drakes before the start of the game. Baker was named as centre-half forward. In fact, he's lined up at full forward and ball ace at centre-half forward. Jackua thought about the handball. Well tackled, though. Now ball ace on to Rowan Smith. Left foot snapshot on its way. Oh, it couldn't be. It is. Great goal. What a brilliant goal. Rowan Smith posts his second and he puts Port Adelaide to 6 goals, 3, leading the Warriors 5 goals, 2.
Well, you couldn't have asked for a better opening quarter if you're a Magpie supporter. Kicking into a 6-goal breeze. We're only just into time on. Already they have 6 goals, 3 on the board, and I think very few people in the Oval believe that left foot snap from Smith would have gone through, but it did. What great skills he's got.
Got the ability to do those uncanny things in football. Out to Anderson again. He's taken a few out of the centre. The kick's high. Front position, Rogers punched on by Smith. Well read off the pack by Schwartz. Long handball out to Martin. Now they've got to go direct. Taylor wants it at centre-half forward. It goes wide of that player, and that's a poor kick. And well taken by Stephen Curtis. Now they can't afford to waste these opportunities. He had time to steady, giving Andrew Taylor no chance whatsoever up there at the centre-half forward area. Curtis, the reliable back pocket player. His kick's high. Anderson up higher. Good mark. Russell Eagle with that handball, but it puts Smith under pressure. Fuller's in there. He's tackled quickly. Smith in there again. Now out to Parker. Taps it on cleverly. Handball comes back towards Lunn. Lunn's kick was off balance and he's paid the penalty. Out of bounds on the full.
Well, he was running backwards trying to get a kick away, Kim, and it's an indication of the pressure that the Port Adelaide players are paying. That he was just unable to settle. They're under mental pressure, the Warriors, and it's Port Adelaide players that have been able to exert it. Now Anderson, kick number 7. He's been a star in this first quarter. His kick goes forward. Bomber Clifford was there. Jackria looks like it has got the job of minding him. Through came Harris, off to Schwartz. A kick around his body. And underneath that one, who's there? Rusty Boyd. Max Parker was good enough to punch it away, and the ball's out of play. 28.5 minutes into the first term. It's Port Adelaide by 7 points, and they've done it the hard way. Kicking into a strong breeze. Rogers off to Harris. The kick went forward looking for Parker. He got the chest and arms around it, but Johnston punched away. They're doing some good work, Port Adelaide. Templeton off to McDonald. It's a wobbly old kick. Ralph Sewer's there. He picks up the ball. He slipped on the way, though. Now Leslie. Off to Johnston. Off to Geneva. Left foot goes forward. Underneath that one's ball A's. Now Bowman for the Warriors. Long he goes. That's the way, but there's no one home for the Warriors. At centre half backs, Jeffrey Phelps is marked.
Yes, desperate football. Incredible smother by Greg Boyd earlier in that passage of play. Ball ace couldn't take it. Harris in there. Manages to get that one right back around his body. Johnson underneath it. Dropped that one. possibly had the sun in his eyes. Curtis in there. He handballs over his head out in the direction of Fuller. Fuller took it cleanly over to Martin. Oh, another beautiful smother by Rowan Smith. And, see, this is brilliant football we're seeing here, and what a great atmosphere. Possibly 8,000 to 10,000 people here at Warrior Park, and I would suggest it's the first time that's ever happened here. Parker down to Bowman again. Another smother off the boot. Comes out towards Taylor, clean bowled him. Curtis first to recover. He's got Haylock back on him. Haylock's been a quiet player. Taylor, kick down towards Nichols, front position. Couldn't take the mark, being pressured well by Harris. It appears that Port Adelaide could have made a move, David. It looks that Harris might be minding Nichols now, and Phelps has gone to a back pocket, I would say.
Certainly he was the bogeyman, Stephen Nichols, with 3 goals in limited opportunities. Certainly a great effort from him. They had to do something. Now Harris wedges his way through the pack. He tries to line up the goals, but isn't that kick a shocker? In fact, it's gone 25 metres around from the point post, out of bounds on the full. And who'd have thought that the former Mount Gambier champion would have kicked like that?
Certainly not one to write down in your scrapbook, David. Did everything right, but couldn't execute the kick properly.
You and I have never done those kicks, Kim. We can afford to be critical. Forward it goes. Taylor's underneath that one. He's got the most of it too, and the umpires saw it that way. I think Russell Johnston tried to sell the dummy. The umpire having none of that. Now Andrew Taylor, 65 metres out, kick number 3. Forward he goes. Underneath this one's Nichols. Punched away from him well by Ben Harris. I thought the ball was forced across the line, but they've played on. No, they've called it back. Umpire Greg Hilton has ruled the ball is out of play, and will throw the ball in.
We've had 6 minutes of time on in this first quarter. The Magpies leading by 7 points. Siren due to sound any second now. Parker from behind. Got the tap down towards Haylock, taken by Colin McDonald. Quick kick away. Boyd back there. Oh, slow motion. Boyd did it well. Kick comes out wide, and the mark's been taken by Andrew Taylor. Andrew Taylor coming up for kick number 4. It's a high kick. See the wind taking that ball away. Big spoil by Johnson. Bellum in the pack was Harris. Couldn't pick it up. Now he does so. Had to beat 2 opponents. Back towards Templeton. Very close to the boundary line. Haylock took it. Snapshot on its way. Umpire gives the all clear. The points allowed. So Woodville move on to 5 goals 3. Trailing Port Adelaide 6-3. All the action on 7's big lead.
That's too many times.
Second quarter about to get underway at Warrior Park. Port Adelaide lead by a clear goal. Fiery first quarter. Johnson up high, took the ball down with him, but Parker got the clearing kick. Overrun by Templeton. Haylock in there, hard body work. Fed it out to Jacquia, ran himself into trouble. High tackle, a little bit lucky there. He did duck the head. Steve Jacquia was in great form before sustaining an ankle injury. Had to sit out last week. Ball comes over the back of the pack. Ralphie Searle with his first chance to come into the game. He's being pursued by Boyd. The kick's on its way. Offline, straight across the face of goal. So that's the first score to Ralph Sewer. And the Warriors move on to 5 goals 4, trailing Port 6-3.
Only 5 points of difference, but Port Adelaide have the benefit of a very strong breeze in this second term. They're kicking to the right of your screen. Max Parker with the punch away. Down and went to Harris. Forward he goes. Bowman's underneath that one. David and Goliath affair as Jeffrey Phelps has marked. And now elects to go straight down the field. The punch away came from Colin McDonald. Now Martin Leslie with the handball. Went to John Harvey. Well shepherded by Curtis. Forward he goes. Underneath that one was Phil Harrison. That's where the kick was intended. Bourlaise watched the ball go over the line. And certainly Port Adelaide doing everything right in this opening moments of the second quarter.
Well, David Ben Harris is definitely back on Nichols, and Phelps is on young Robbie Bowman, and if he's going to play that forward pocket position into the breeze, he's going to have to get front position. Harris ran himself into trouble, managed to get the handball away. 2 minutes into this second quarter. We have a throw in right in front of the grandstand and commentary position. Baker, front position, he's been moved into ruck. Handball, beautiful play by Bourlaise out to Geneva. Front position, Jacquia couldn't take the mark. I think the sun's causing problems there. Tried to tackle on Bourlaise, but he didn't have the ball. A little bit of enthusiastic work there by Arlen Kennedy. obviously want to make the most of this breeze and get it down there as quick as they can. Lunn in there. So to O'Brien, Clifford there. Well done by Schwartz, took that beautifully. Unfortunately, the kick wasn't as good as the take, and it's gone straight into the hands of Greg Anderson.
Well, Kimmy was under pressure, and it's an indication of the pressure that the Port Adelaide players are applying. Schwartz got clear, but he was dragged down as he was kicking, and of course, now Anderson with kick number 8 has an opportunity of scoring goal number 1 for him. It looks good too, off the boot, right through the middle. That's Anderson's first. Port Adelaide doing everything right. They now advance to 7-3. Leading Woodville 5-4. Top action on 7's big lead.
All Ace wanted to get the ball in there quick. Came to ground. Lunn was in there, so too was O'Brien. We see Schwartz, he did it well, was desperate. Football dived on it, managed to get on top, up off the ground, but he was tackled as he kicked and went straight in the waiting arms of Greg Anderson.
Anderson's goal has now given them an 11-point lead. Max Parker with that tap. Down it went. Over the top of the ball was Jennifer. He spins through the pack, tries to weave his way through and couldn't. Haylock was there. Bomber Clifford was tripped. Coming through Rusty Boyd, but another pack has developed and a ball up will take place. The umpires have certainly had their work cut out for them this afternoon. A number of bounces, some heavy clashes and a lot of ball ups. Rogers taps the ball forward. Greg Boyd is there for the Magpies. On the left foot he goes. It's a long kick too, looking towards centre half forward. But underneath that one is Lunn for the Warriors. Kick number 6 for him, a serviceable player already. Back there is Max Parker. He couldn't take a mark. In fact, I don't think he's had one today, Max. Forward they go, the Warriors. Curtis was under that with Ralph Sewer. Sewer applies a tackle on Leslie. Looks for the free kick and he's received it. He appealed for that free kick, Ralphie, and got it. The kick was not a good one. Through went Bowman. On the right foot goes Bowman. Goalward bound. It's right through the middle. That's Bowman's first. Just what the Warriors needed, kicking into that strong breeze. That's the reply they wanted. And Woodville now go to 6-4, trailing Port 7-3.
Well, that was superb play by young Robbie Bowman. If they can get the ball in there quick, and if it's not one-on-one in the air, he's going to be far too quick for Phelps. Sewer managed to get himself into the game. He was quiet in the first quarter. Tried to spear out a pass. It didn't really find its mark, but Bowman intercepted beautifully here. Managed to swing around, straighten himself and speared that one through.
We've only played 5 minutes into the second term and already it's nip and tuck. Great contest as Kennedy gets his kick forward. And who's underneath that one? None other than Michael O'Brien. 35 to 40 metres out. Strong breeze at his back. Kick number 3 for him. Kick looks good off the boot, right through the middle. That's Michael O'Brien's first. Port Adelaide now go to 8-3, leading Woodville 6-4. Top action on 7's big lead.
Certainly is, and that was the quick reply. Michael O'Brien, a good kick for goal. Made no mistake from about 45 metres out. Distance was never going to be a problem. He still has a 5 to 6 goal breeze behind him. Scoreboard tells the story. Woodville 6-4, Port Adelaide 8-3.
What a great game it is in front of a capacity crowd here at Woodville Oval. There's been 14 goals kicked in only 36 minutes of football. Rowan Smith tried to gather the ball in and couldn't. Coming through was John Martin. His kick is a high one. Dropping back on that was Greg Boyd. He butters up after dropping the mark. Forward it goes. Arlen Kennedy couldn't gather it in. Now Max Parker bursting his way through. They're certainly applying some pressure, the Port Adelaide players. Arlen Kennedy playing like a terrier after Rowan Smith. He's by himself. On the left foot he goes, looking forward. Underneath that one was Bomber Clifford. The ball was punched away from him. Now Michael O'Brien gathers in the ball. The quick handball comes out to Borlays. Back to Jennifer on the left foot he goes. Goalward bound, but it's going to be offline. In fact, it'll be through for one behind. Tim Jennifer, 2 points today. Quick snap on that occasion could only bring 1 point.
Well, the Warriors are going to have to take a leaf out of the book of Port Adelaide in that first quarter. They ran the ball in lines up the field, running in numbers. It's the only way to score into this breeze. We see Craig even come onto the ground. Front position, Johnson couldn't take it. Wilson thought about the handball, too slow, tackled by Baker. Now it's Smith with a long handball out to Harvey. Harvey way down from his half-back flank, and he's kicked it like a true backman, out of bounds on the full. If you could help me, David, I didn't see who. I think he's replaced Phelps, is that right?
That's right, Kim.
So they've opted for a smaller, quicker player to stand Bowman.
Well, I think that's a fair move too. Bowman is certainly a quick, nippy little player. Phelps is a tall man. They've tried to even the contest. As the kick comes forward, underneath that one was Baker. He punched away to Haylock. Off it went. Rogers got the quick kick away. Now Taylor with an opportunity. Martin Leslie's wearing him like a glove. He gets the handball out to the running player in McDonald. He tries to get through but can't. Now Phil Harrison, around his body he goes, and Max Parker's taken a mark. 250-game veteran Max Parker. Nothing would please him more than a win for the Warriors today, but his kick's not a good one.
I was going to say a better kick would have probably pleased him.
Yes, you're right, Kim. Phil Harrison, he's got the right idea. A long one towards centre half forward. Underneath that one's Darren Smith. One grab, couldn't bring it down with the second. Underneath that one's Bomber Clifford, grabbed high, and he'll receive the free kick. At centre half forward, Bomber, if he gets onto a good screwy here, it'll go right through the middle with this breeze. Kick number 8, he's been a star in the opening term. Gee, I think he's trying for it too. He loves a goal, Bomber. The drop punt though, drop short. Underneath that one was Darren Smith. He gathers the ball in now. Handball's off to Geneva. Geneva on the left foot, goalward bound. That's his 3rd point. Bad luck the Magpies. 3 points to Tim Geneva. That advances their score to 8 goals 5, leading Woodville 6 goals 4. And we've only played 8 minutes into the second term.
Well, Tim Geneva probably should have got that goal. It was great work by the big fella in Darren Smith. He gave Geneva, had plenty of time to steady, but couldn't post that through for a major. Ball comes out the back of the pack, tapped on by Andrew Rogers, leads in the chase room, manages to shrug off the tackle from Anderson and puts out a pass to Templeton. Drop what he should have taken. Pressure applied by Boyd. Templeton not happy. He knows he should have taken that mark. There's plenty of pressure today. Mistakes are always going to happen in these close pressure games. Rogers from behind. Arlen Kennedy in there. Ball well taken by Fuller. Fuller's kick out looking for Taylor. Martin Leslie. Oh, that's a courageous mark, Russell Johnson. And this fellow is absolutely fearless. Great play by the skipper. Pushes out the pass to Ball Ace. Couldn't take the mark. Will receive a free kick. Plays on quickly. Rowan Smith starting to become more prominent. He gets the ball out to Steve Curtis.
Curtis at centre wing. Drop punt kick goes forward. Underneath that one is Harvey. In fact, it looks like he's been moved down from a half-back flank, or is he shadowing McDonald? I think it might be the latter. But no matter, the ball's out of play. Young Greg Hilton, brother of field umpire Graham Hilton, will throw the ball in. Capacity crowd at Woodville Oval, enjoying an entertaining game as Bomber Clifford tries to crash his way through. McDonald received the free kick. Handball's off to Haylock. His kick wastes no time in going forward. Max Parker is underneath that. So too Russell Johnson. No player can get clear. Now Ron Fuller. 2 bounces, 3 bounces. Forward they go, the Warriors. The handball goes forward. Back in the 1-2 to Ralph Sewer. Ralphie goes onto the right foot. Goalward bound. It's not swinging around enough. And that'll be through for 1 behind. 6 goals 5, the Warriors, trailing the Magpies 8 goals 5. We've played just on 11 minutes into the second term at Woodville Oval.
Ben Harris opts for the outer side. It's a long kick. Back there 2-on-1. It's a fine mark taken by Martin Leslie. Plays on quickly. Handball over to Johnston. Johnson over to Russell Boyd. They're in a little bit of trouble, but he did it well. Weaved his way through the pack. Now kicks long. Look at that. 2 kicks and they're down to centre half forward. Clifford front position. Off hands Kennedy. Now Parker. Parker over to Fantasia. Fantasia's kicks long, looking for Taylor again. Through comes Templeton. Oh, got out of that beautifully. Back onto the left boot. Kicks high. Nichols there being pressured by Harris. Great mark and it's been tailed. Port Adelaide crowd not happy, but he had enough of it for mine. So Stephen Nichols has a chance to kick his 4th goal. And in fact, to be the most goals kicked for any Woodville player against Port Adelaide at Warrior Park. Kick number 5. Starts it left to right. A little bit too much. And Nichols kicks his first point for the game. Woodville move on to 6-6, trailing Port Adelaide 8 goals 5.
3 goals 1 to Stephen Nichols. Fine performance considering the Warriors didn't go forward much in the first term. Geneva's kick goes forward, looking at the outer wing. Underneath that one's Taylor. He was opposed to Leslie. Now Ron Fuller, handballs back to Colin McDonald. He goes short over the top looking for Taylor. Libas it was, with the handball. He's onto the field now. Coming through John Harvey, off to Ginnivan, off to Greg Boyd. Port Adelaide are doing it well. They're playing straight down the centre and going long. Bomber Clifford got a hand to that one, but couldn't mark. Coming through was Shorts. He was hit high. The Warrior defender has received a free kick. Rick Kadir indicated it was for too high. Now Schwartz. Drives to the outer wing. Underneath that one was Russell Johnston. He couldn't gather in the mark. He punches it forward now. Coming through was Arlen Kennedy. He's certainly working his way into this game. Number of possessions in the second term. Rowan Smith had the ball punched away from him. Desperate work on the outer as Colin McDonald comes through. He's hit high and has the free kick. Crowd aren't happy. Certainly things loving
Put it this way, half of the crowd isn't happy, David, and that's the Port Adelaide supporters. They think they're getting a raw deal, but they've been playing good football nonetheless. Taylor there, Anderson overran that. Now it leaves Taylor with a second chance. Here's a touch of the fumbles. Harris in there, grab without possession, play on. Now Clifford on to Harvey. Magpie's running again. Clifford's caught one behind the play. Smith from behind, couldn't take the mark, and it's a great grab by Deso Dwyer.
There's a fine mark to Deso Dwyer. It's been a fine player too since coming to the Warriors from Norwood, after having had limited opportunities there. Bottom of that pack was Andrew Rogers, and he's marked. Will Harrison stands the mark.
And I've been impressed by Rogers, David. The times we've seen him this year, he's a much improved player and he's got a big future.
I'd agree with you on that score, Kim. There's no arguments there. Ralphie Sewer has the free kick. Sporting a shorter than short haircut, Ralphie. Just those wispy little tails at the back. Certainly looks fit. He said if he hadn't had a beer in his career, he'd have played 600. Well, certainly looks like he's capable of playing for a few more. On the left foot he goes. Forward it goes, looking for Haylock. He's been paid the mark. Curtis pushes the ball across the boundary line just to waste a little bit of extra time.
Well, the crowd's not happy, David, but he had enough of that. And if he wasn't paid for the mark, he was definitely pushed in the back afterwards.
Well, they let a few go early in the first quarter. 1 and 2 grabbers that weren't paid, so we called then you need to be consistent. Throw in at left half forward for the Warriors. They trail by 11 points. They need a couple of goals quickly. Bomber Clifford bursts his way through. He's been a sensation, Clifford. Forward it goes. Coming through was Jack here. On to Ron Fuller. The quick handball went out. There's been a free kick. Ronnie Fuller and Bomber Clifford in the centre of the oval having a dust-up. Fuller came through and put the... it was Bomber Clifford, in fact, who put the elbow up. Connected with Ron Fuller, and Fuller has the free kick. 10 to 15 metre penalty. Conditions getting heated out in the middle. Colin McDonald runs into the open space at the true centre-half forward position.
Well, Port Adelaide don't have to get involved in any of that, David. They're playing good football, and Bomber's playing good football, and he had no need to get involved in that little dust-up then.
No, but it's an indication how aggressive they've come out today. They're not giving an inch. As McDonald's kick has gone right through the middle, that's just what they needed. They trailed by 11 points. The deficit's been now brought back to 5. And Woodville advanced to 7 goals 6, trailing Port Adelaide 8 goals 5. Top action on 7's big league.
It certainly is, and Bomber's been in superb touch, and he went through at 100 miles an hour, but he definitely infringed. And there's one thing about Ron Fuller, you won't upset or ruffle him. He didn't mind what Bomber did to him. He knew he was going to get the free kick, and it's resulted in a goal.
Now there's Bomber again at centre field with yet another kick. He's absolutely starring. Kick number 10 for him. Out wide it goes. Harrison dropped the kick, but supported again. His kick is wide. In fact, it might even be out of bounds on the full. It is. And Alex Lund will take the free kick. 10 kicks already to Bomber Clifford. He start. Doesn't need to get involved in any silly stuff.
Certainly, David, but you've got to take your hat off to him. People were saying he was all washed up a few months ago, and he's come back at his brilliant best.
It's Peter Marker, I think, Kim, who said that.
I'll never dob in a co-teammate.
But Bombers bounce back. Rogers, the improved player, forward. Underneath that one's Russell Johnson. He makes a meal of those balls, running backwards into it. He has no fear. He's taken one of those marks that Neil Curley loves. Max Parker couldn't get his hands around that one. Steve Jackie was tackled strongly by Baker. Now Rowan Smith off to Greg Anderson. Fuller's had the better of Anderson in this second term. I thought Anderson won in the first. Now Fantasia with Ginnivan hot on his tail. He paddles the ball around his body. Tackles applied by Ginnivan. No free kick, said the umpire, and another ball up will take place. It's 25 metres around from the left point post. the Port Adelaide forward line. Port Adelaide lead by 5 points as the ball up comes down to Rowan Smith. Greg Anderson jumps on top of that one. In fact, it was David Baker and Rowan Smith.
17 minutes into this second quarter. It's the Maggies by 5 points. Down towards Ginniver, couldn't take it. Another free kick to the Warriors. Well, they've certainly had the benefit of the doubt on a number of occasions in this second quarter. In fact, they've had 17 free kicks for the game, opposed to Port Adelaide's 12. I can assure you it all evens out in the wash. Greg Boyd back there, playing in a half-back flank today. Not a good handball taken by Bowman. Bowman in turn on to Colin McDonald. McDonald spears out a pass looking for Haylock over the head of that player. It Nichols again, over to Taylor. Taylor one way then the other, he was caught. This allows Templeton, straightens up. Offline, another point. The Warriors move on to 7-7, trailing Port 8-5.
When they've gone into attack, the Warriors, and they've gone direct, they certainly look a better outfit. Port Adelaide have played the more direct football all day. And yet again, Curtis straight down the centre of the field. It's the quickest way home. Now Ralphie Sewer, he's working himself into this game. The handball came over the top, looking for Kevin Harris. He got a B-grade bounce. Strongly through was Curtis. Off to Harris. Harrison now on the right foot. Forward he goes. Down grandstand wing. Underneath that one's Ball Hayes and Lund. That's been a fine duel today.
David, he did handball it.
Yes, he got the handball away. I think a lot of people didn't see it. It was a quick one. Now Darren Smith with forward. It's gone out of bounds on the full. And Peter Schwartz will take the free kick.
Been impressed with Peter Schwartz today. Very direct approach on the ball. He looks like he's done a bit of work in the gym. Kick number 5. It's a high kick, hugging the boundary line. Taylor from behind. Leslie up there. Umpire Rick Kinnear not impressed. But Leslie thought he had it, and well, I'll remain on the fence with that one.
Well, it hasn't bothered Martin Leslie. He's just got straight back and got on with the job. Good sign of a good disciplined player as Arlen Kennedy burst his way through. On the left foot he goes. Underneath that one's Ball Hayes. Quick handball off to Anderson. They're running the Magpies. They look a lot better when they do. Forward goes the kick. Max Parker's there. He's marked. What a good mark. Timely mark for the big fella.
Well, this is a good move by Malcolm Blight. He's put Parker back there to thwart all these attacks. The ball's been going down there repeatedly. He's put Livers onto the ball. This has given the Warriors a bit of height in defence. This time Parker puts it out looking for Livers. Harrison there, so too Johnson. Quick handball over to Clifford. Clifford tries to centre that ball looking for Smith. Oh, great mark, Des O'Dwyer.
Certainly was. One of those marks you have to make running back into the pack. Nobody likes to take them. Certainly a courageous mark to Des O'Dwyer.
Looks like it could have taken a little bit of the wind out of him. A few big breaths. His kick out to Templeton. He must have lost his compass because he's playing on a half-forward flank. His kick to Fantasia. Back to Templeton. Handball's high, but he's had plenty of time to stay with that one. Now he pushes it out to Taylor, and I think the honours would have to go to Leslie at the moment. And listen to the Magpie supporters. They finally got a free kick. And they're letting umpire Rick Kinnear know they're not happy about his performance today. High kick, back of the pack was Bunn. Players dive on top. Umpire Graham Hilton will come out to sort out the mess.
Well, Kim, you've got to take your hat off to the Warrior players. It looked like they had an unenviable job. Port Adelaide was 6 points clear at quarter time, kicking with a 6-goal breeze, and it looked like they might have overrun the Warriors. But to their credit, they've stuck to their task. It's only 4 points the difference. Port Adelaide have the lead. They certainly could have been a lot further in front. Barson, desperate work. Ralph Sewer burst his way through. The handball came over the top. John Harvey, though, tapped the ball forward. He's kept it in front of him well. Now he can pick it up and handball along to the running player in Ginniver. Ginniver only has to get around Fantasia, and he's clear. He can't. Now he can. The kick goes forward. Bomber Clifford's under this one at the back of the pack. I think he had the sun in his eyes. Now Baker with the handball off. Michael O'Brien, Darren Smith. Handball came out to Rowan Smith. His kick was well smothered.
Peter Schwartz.
Peter Schwartz was the player. Now Livers with the kick forward. On the lead is Greg Boyd. So too Templeton. Now down to Rusty Boyd. His kick goes to centre half forward. Des O'Dwyer is there. Punches the ball away from Smith. Fantasia out to Lund. They're looking a lot better, the Warriors.
Oh, it's a desperate game of football. I've seen more smothers in this first half of football than I've seen in any other game this season, David. It's been great to watch. Bowman out to Taylor. Taylor well tackled. This allows Anderson to come through, but a free kick's been awarded. And that'll go the way of Martin Leslie.
He called it well earlier. I certainly think Leslie's had the better of Taylor so far.
Hasn't been easy for him, though. It's not a good position to play centre-half forward. The ball's come in high. But Leslie doing everything right. Off hands to Rowan Smith. He's been a real star in this game. His kick out wide. Kick number 10 for Smith. O'Brien takes it to fine mark. Now, Michael O'Brien, he kicked one from this similar position early in the quarter. In fact, I'd go as far as to say it would be nearly exactly the same position. Kick number 4, starts it out left to right, swings back with a breeze, exactly what he did early in the quarter. Same result, that's his second goal. Woodville, 7 goals 7, trailing Port Adelaide, 9 goals 5.
Michael O'Brien has kicked 2 of the last 3 goals for Port Adelaide. In fact, that's his second. It was a beautiful mark. He put himself into the right position, held on to it long enough, and Steve Jackie couldn't punch it away, and of course his kick was a beauty. He called it well. It started left, came around with the breeze, right through the middle, and Port Adelaide 9-5, lead Woodville 7 goals 7.
Libas won the tap opposed to Johnson, down to Harris doing the hard bullocking work. Well taken by Arlen Kennedy. His kick's a floater. He had covered plenty of distance. Ginniver did well to get back and spoil. Fantasia tapped that one over the back of his head. Got the safety of the boundary line. We've just approached time on in this second quarter. The Magpies lead by 10 points. Down to Jackfield one way, then the other. Quick handball to Lunn. Lunn's handball was very slick to Haylock, but he froze. He was too slow. Well, he thought about getting it on to Rogers, and the time he attempted to kick it was too late. Port Adelaide players were right on top of him.
Yes, I'm impressed with the pressure of the Port Adelaide players. Been very desperate to get to the Woodville players when they've had the ball.
Both sides, I think you'd have to say, David.
Yes, I agree. Now Rowan Smith punches the ball forward. Out on the end of that was James Fantasia, off to Steve Jackie. But there's that desperation we were talking about, the pressure on the man with the ball. It was Borlase who applied the tackle, and he's appealing to the umpire for the free kick. But I've never seen them change their mind yet.
No, it'd be quite funny if it happened, wouldn't it?
I think it'd surprise us all. There's O'Dwyer with Darren Smith. The ball came down to Kevin Harris. He got the handball in the direction of Steve Jackie, but it couldn't find him, and out of play yet again for another throw in. Just into time on of the second term at Woodville Oval. 7-7 the Warriors. Port Adelaide 9 goals 5. It's 10 points clear to the Magpies. Umpire Rick Kinnear officiating with Graham Hilton this afternoon. He has the job of bouncing. Darren Smith tapped it down, looking for Anderson. Now the ball pops clear of the pack. Anderson bursts his way through. He's gathered in the ball now. Around on the left foot he goes. Bates one tackle, tries to get the handball away. There's that tackle on the man with the ball yet again. And the kick quickly comes out. Colin McDonald tapped it forward. Martin Leslie was there, handed the ball and punched it away. Certainly some desperate work from both sides.
He's a good player, Martin Leslie. He's got a very professional way about the way he goes about his job. Real business-like attitude. Anderson over to Kennedy. He tapped it on looking for Smith. Had a quick fumble but recovered. Now tried to get the handball back. Jackfield in there. He was well tackled by Harvey. Not in the ball to decision. It was a good tackle. It had to happen sooner or later. John Harvey centres the ball. Back there's Parker, so too is Baker. Comes to ground, Haylock in there. Taken by Fantasia. Got it back to Haylock. Haylock's well tackled. Shrugged that one though. Oh, and he's kicked it out of bounds on the full. He received a little nudge by Ginniver, and that was just enough to put him off balance. John Harvey will take the kick once again.
Well, the kick off the boot was smothered by McDonald. Now a throw-in will take place, and it's a pressure-packed environment out there.
Well, how did you see that? I thought that was fair enough.
Oh, yes, it was certainly fair enough. I'm just saying that neither side's giving any easy kicks to the other. Great encounter here at Woodville Oval. Kevin Harris tackled strongly, got the handball away to Rogers. Certainly one of the Warriors' most improved players. His kick is very, very high. Underneath that one, Livis and Johnston. Ron Fuller got the handball out towards the boundary line. That seems to be sensible work. Playing out time, the Warriors. Magpies lead by 10 points. We're 2.5 minutes into time on. Livis gets the tap. Forward it goes. Rowan Smith is there. His kick is a long one forward. Underneath this one's David Baker and Parker. The punch came away. Through went Borlase. Tackled strongly. Holding the ball. Good decision, the umpire. It's Steve Jackie now. On the left foot he goes. He has Haylock on the lead. Gary Haylock. Named in the forward pocket. Second rover. His kick goes forward. On the lead was Taylor. Leslie couldn't get to him on that occasion, and Taylor now decides to play on. Off to Ron Fuller. Anderson and Fuller having a great duel in the centre. Johnston was there. Now Andrew Rogers. Off to Taylor. On the left foot he goes short. Underneath that one's McDonald. It's out of play on the full. A little unlucky. It was only a foot wide. That's all it takes. John Harvey now from left half back. McDonald came over the mark, tried to smother yet another one off the boot of Harvey. The umpire was having none of that, and he's now given him a 15-metre penalty.
Well, the Warriors have done well. Port Adelaide have only managed to increase their lead by 4 points with the aid of this 5-goal breeze. Harvey goes short to find Ginnivan. Want to get it in there pretty quick. They're running out of time. Now he kicks it to the centre-half forward position. Underneath it's Borlase, and he takes a mark uncontested.
I'm very impressed with Borlase. He has uncanny ball skills. He knows where the ball is.
Well, he's a goer, David. He gives 100%. He competes for everything, and there's the siren end the first half. The Warriors 7-7-49, trailing the Magpies 9-5-59. The action on 7's big lead.
Start of the third quarter at Woodville Oval. It's the Magpies by 10 points. Magpie full forward. David Baker has Max Parker sitting on his tail. An interesting move at the start of the third term. There's a free kick being picked out to Bomber Clifford. He was in sensational form in the first half. He'd had 12 kicks, a number of handballs. Certainly been inspirational in their early form. The first quarter, they kicked 6 goals, 3 Port Adelaide against the breeze. Certainly it's made the stage for an interesting game. Fantasia bursts off the half-back flank. He kicks out wide. On the lead, player looked like Templeton. He handballed over the top. Underneath that one was Bowman. And another pack develops, and a ball up will take place. Kim, the pressure that's been applied by both sides in this game has been a feature of the game.
Certainly has. Look, it's just been a great game of football, full stop, David, and there's plenty of football left. We see John Harvey, a good player in that first half, swings around onto his left boot, pushes out a long pass. Back there is Deso Dwyer, appears to be at centre-half back now, standing Smith. Lund there, applies the tackle to Borlase. Unfortunately, Borlase didn't have the football. Lund's not happy. But umpire Graham Hilton was a lot closer to us, so the free kick will go to young Darryl Borlase. Kick number 5. It's a long kick, well scored by Parker. Ginnivan first to recover, tried to get the handball back to Rowan Smith. Well intercepted by Lund. Now it's a high kick, exceptionally high kick. And Greg Anderson's read it better than anyone. Plays on quickly over to Bomber Clifford. Kick number 13, it's a wobbly one. But fortune favours the brave, and it's found Russell Boyd. Very blustery conditions at Warrior Park. Russell Boyd too far out to score. Oh, it's an awkward looking kick. It's a floater. It's a wobbly one. Underneath it was O'Dwyer, or Fantasia, should I say. He applies the tackle to O'Brien, but it's a dead heat, and umpire Graham Hilton will bounce 25 metres out from the Port Adelaide goal.
We played 2.5 minutes into the third term at Woodville Oval. Max Parker doing the ruck work with David Baker. Trying to burst his way through. Appeared to be O'Brien. In fact, Borlase. He couldn't get through, and another ball up will take place. It's Port Adelaide by 10 points. They're kicking now into the face of a 5-goal breeze. Smith gets his kick forward. O'Brien couldn't gather in the ball. Now it comes to Schwartz. He gets a quick kick away. Anderson let the ball go through his hands. Now Russell Boyd, he accelerates through centre-half forward. The kick is long into the goal square. Smith was under that, couldn't gather it in. Neither too could Baker. And a free kick's been picked out. It's going against Max Parker. And David Baker from 25 metres out has an opportunity of scoring his second goal. We couldn't see it from our point, what the infringement was for. It appeared to be for holding the man. Baker now kicking into a strong breeze. The kick is not a good one. In fact, it's wide. Underneath that one was Des O'Dwyer. He couldn't mark it, and the ball is out of play 2 feet around, or should I say a metre around from the right point post.
Some supporters enjoying the game. As I said before, it's been a great game of football. Parker from behind. Front position was Baker. Alex Lunn leads in the chase. Quite content to see that ball go over the boundary line. 4 minutes gone of this third quarter. Woodville 7-7, the Magpies 9-5. And it's the Maggies doing all the attacking into this breeze. Baker with a big tap down towards O'Brien. Back there is Lunn, and thought about getting around his opponent, then opted for the safety of the line. Concedes a point. The Magpies now move on to 9-6, increasing their lead over Woodville 7-7.
I think Lunn handballed it into the goalpost, Kim. That's what the goal umpire indicated as Max Parker's kick comes in long. Underneath that one, John Martin. He's dropped it. There's that bogey man, Bomber Clifford. He was tripped. Bowman giving him a little bit of extra attention. Doesn't worry, Bomber. He's got the ball. Craig Ebert handed the ball back to Bomber, and now he kicks forward. Underneath that one will be Smith, and he'll mark. No problems about that one. His name was on that ball the whole way. And now Darren Smith. 1 goal to date. 35 metres out on a 45-degree angle. Kick number 7. It's normally a reliable kick. That doesn't look to be any exception. Distance not a problem, but the accuracy was, and that's gone through for 1 point. So 1 goal, 1 to Darren Smith this afternoon. Port Adelaide advanced to 9 goals 8, leading Woodville 7 goals 7.
Parker with a quick pass out to Jacquia. Jacquia in turn finds, that appears to be Andrew Rogers. The Woodville centre half-back now kicks long again. It's a poor kick, there's no one there, and the mark's been taken by Greg Boyd. Greg Boyd plays on quickly out to Craig Ebert. Ebert bolts, now pushes in a long one. This breeze appears to have dropped slightly. Off hands taken by Alex Lunn. He's an improved player. Been in great touch in recent weeks. Fantasia over to Bowman having a run on the ball. Bowman goes the best way. That's straight down the middle. Fuller underneath that. Well spoiled by Leslie. Livis in there. Couldn't take it, but kicking in danger. Stephen Clifford's been penalised. Livis wastes no time. Plays on quickly. Over to Sewer. Sewer tries for a long screw punt, but it's a wobbly one. Back there was Leslie. Oh, Haylock hit high. Play on the full. The crowd's not happy, and he's beat Pink for holding the ball. Well, he's obviously caught one fairly high, but Rick Kinnear didn't see that. You've got to play to the whistle.
It's a bit hard to play to the whistle, Tim, if you're knocked out. He certainly looks a little bit groggy on his feet, Gary Haylock. I wasn't sure that he was hit in actual fact, but he certainly appears as though he was. Now Martin Leslie from full back. On the mark is Andrew Taylor, 29 for the Warriors. The kick is a high one. Underneath that one's Anderson. He's gone up. He's marked it. Yes, 1 grab, 2 grab, 3 grab. He doesn't wait for a decision. He plays on quickly out wide to Stephen Curtis. Curtis' kick goes forward looking for O'Brien. In fact, Viarchi. Play goes on. There's Alan Kennedy, the player underneath it. Certainly get confused when you get excited. Darren Smith. Hope we've got that name right. Forward it goes, Baker there. Ball was punched away from him, Schwartz. Tackled by Phil Harrison. Now Rowan Smith in there, harassing him. And the ball has been forced out of play in the right forward pocket. 7 goals 7 Woodville, 9 goals 7 the Magpies. It's 2 straight kicks, the difference.
Well, this is a crucial quarter for the Warriors. They've got to build up some sort of lead in this third quarter because they'll be kicking into a stiff breeze. Then the final quarter, the free kick awarded to Steve Jacquia. He nearly had his head ripped off and he appears to be limping. Let's hope it's not that bad ankle injury he suffered a couple of weeks ago. Plays on quickly with a handball to Harris. Harris' kick is long. Oh, up high was Livis. Couldn't take it. Arlen Kennedy in there. Handball over to Anderson. Anderson in turn back to Greg Boyd. It's a poor kick. Oh, well done, Templeton. Over to Fuller. Fuller in turn to Fantasia. He's got past 2 players. Over to Martin. They've got time to steady. He chips out a short pass to Haylock. And my false teeth just nearly fell down my throat then. And Haylock's taken the mark.
Yes, certainly was a short pass, Kim. Haylock with the ball at centre half forward. 45 metres out. Distance won't be a worry with the breeze at his back. The kick's on its way. It's true off the boot. That's Gary Haylock's first goal. And now the Warriors advance. 8 goals, 7. Trailing Port Adelaide 9 goals, 7. Top action on 7's big lead.
Certainly is. I hope the Reverend Fred Nile didn't hear that. Just a slip of the tongue. Back at the centre, Livis doing the ruck work against Johnston. Johnston had a brief rest in that second quarter. That's where the Magpies came undone there. It was a poor handball. Templeton did well, and Fuller set the play up with a handball over to Martin. Martin went in turn, Fantasia in turn to Martin, and Martin's kick found Haylock.
Livis in ruck, gets the tap down in the direction of Ron Fuller. He goes onto the left foot around his body. Kevin Harris was there with John Harvey. Now Curtis, been a rock at Gibraltar. Curtis up in the back pocket. Forward he goes. Underneath that one was Arlen Kennedy. It was punched away strongly from him. And Rusty Boyd, he couldn't get it. Steve Jackie with a push in the back, no free kick. John Martin over the top of the ball, but it was out of play, and a throw-in will take place at centre wing.
Steve Jackie appears to have recovered from that, what seemed to be a leg injury. Livis up high. Taps it straight back to where it came from.
Well, Kim, I'm just having a good look at him now, Jackie, and he's certainly favouring the leg. There's no doubt about that. But in the action of the moment, he was certainly looking okay.
Rather crooked throw in by the boundary umpire. Russell Johnson over the top of that. Taken by Borlase. Jackie a front position, takes the mark. Well, he's got the job of looking after Clifford while he's resting in the forward lines. He wants to get it on pretty quickly. They've got to take advantage of this breeze. Young Bowman front position. Couldn't get second bite of the cherry. Great tackle by Templeton. We're holding the ball. Well, play on advantage call. Bowman's off. Pass. Oh, Curtis. Courageous stuff. Couldn't take the mark. Now it's Martin Leslie. In turn to John Harvey. Gee, there's been some great tackling in this game today. Kevin Harris scuttles through the pack. Over to Sewer. Into an open goal. Put down your glasses. There's another one. Woodville, 9 goals, 7. Tie up the ball game here at Warrior Park. 72 points apiece.
Well, what a game this has turned into. Port Adelaide came out in the first term and they kicked 6 goals, 3 into a strong breeze. Woodville only managed 5, and both sides were restricted in the second term, but now it's the Warriors advancing. Look at this good work by Harris. He weaved his way through the pack. The handball came over the top to Sewer. And Zip Zap made no mistake, right through the middle.
And my mathematics have let me down badly again at 61 points apiece. Back in the centre, Livis doing a great job. Up high again, got the tap, and it's Anderson that took advantage of it. His kick's high. Smith front position. Dwyer from behind. Jacquia did well. Body over the ball, and will receive the free kick. Plays on quickly. Dwyer with a towering torpedo punt. Taylor there. Oh, Leslie, brilliant work to get fist to that one. Templeton back to Livis, touch of the fumbles. Over to Haylock. Haylock's quick kick was lucky enough to find Templeton. Now he can score from there. Decides to chip out a pass, and he found Nichols. Well, that was a good kick and a superb lead by Stephen Nichols. Nichols kicked 3 goals in the first quarter. Could only manage a point in the second. Took this very low to ground. Wasn't anything at all Ben Harris could do about that. Kick number 6. Stephen Nichols has put that right through the middle. That's his 4th goal, and the Warriors have hit the front. They move on to 10 goals, 7, leading Port 9-7. The action on 7's big lead.
Well, that was Stephen Nichols' 4th goal, and it came after some good handballing from the Warriors' side. Came out, Haylock's kick was a lucky one. On it went to Templeton. His kick was a beauty. Nichols mark, goal number 4 for him, and that's exactly what the Warriors need. 10 goals, 7, 67. Lead Port 9-7, 61. It's one straight goal, the difference.
Stephen Clifford back on the ball. Can the Magpies come back with a quick reply? Livis with the tap. Now has to do the roving work as well. At the back, it's Alex Lungy. He's been reliable today. So too is this fella, Andrew Rogers. Taylor's running back. Give Rogers something to kick to. It's a beautiful looking kick. Underneath it was Taylor and Leslie. At the back of the pack is Nichols. Harris is there. Quick handball to Curtis. Back to Leslie again. Boyd's provided the lead, but that's a shocking kick, and it's out of bounds on the full. amazing what a little bit of pressure can do. Even the great players make mistakes. Quick kick by Martin. Has found Michael Templeton. I mentioned earlier in the game, there aren't too many more accurate kicks at goal than this player, Michael Templeton. Ralph Sewer getting a little bit of advice. Kick number 9, taking plenty of time. Very important kick. Not a good kick, he centred it. Front position there was Harvey. He couldn't take it. Curtis is there. Geez, reliable this fella. Like to have your money on him every time. Out to Rogers, a long way back from centre half back. Bowman looking for Harris over the head of that player. Through goes Kennedy. Clifford there, the reliable. It kicks out wide. Now it's 2-on-1. There's Martins there, so too is Jacquia. He'll have to shepherd, does so. Martin puts it in long. It's veering away. The wind's taking it. In fact, it's gone through for a point. So Woodville move on to 10 goals, 8, leading Port 9-7.
Certainly an action-packed game. Port Adelaide kicking into the breeze. The Warriors doing most of the attacking. 7 points the difference. The Warriors have the lead. Curtis's kick comes in looking for Johnson. Up went Anderson. What a mark! Oh, he read it better than anyone, Anderson. Now the quick handball comes off to Leslie. They're wasting no time, the Magpies. His kick goes forward on the leads, Darren Smith. They're running the Magpies. Forward goes the kick, but a 15-metre penalty's been enforced. James Fantasia punched the ball away for good measure. They certainly need to slow this Magpie machine down. They look good when they go into attack. If they can get their running game going, the Magpies, anything's possible. Smith's kick is not a good one. Forward it goes. Baker dropped the mark. Now Fantasia sells the dummy. Weaves his way through. Had nowhere to go. Russell Johnston went through his legs. Now Schwartz. His kick is long. It's directed towards Ralphie Sewer. Ralphie's used his body well. But look who's back there. Martin Leslie's been supreme back there today. Now Bomber Clifford, also a good player. The left foot kick goes forward. Underneath that one looks like Baker. He's marked. Well, they can be very exciting this side. VRG back to Anderson. His left foot kick is forward. No one home, but oh, what a great mark back there. Appears to be Rogers. He's got better as the game's got on. Certainly some great marks taken during this game. Rogers' kick goes to the outer side. Harris is under there. So too Harvey. Now Libis. He's dragged off the ball as he went to kick it. Now Anderson sells the dummy. He can line up the goals. He's a good kick. Unfortunately, that one's not. And Peter Schwartz has had to go back there, get the handball away and clear for the Warriors.
Now it's Kevin Harris. Out wide, he's got Colin McDonald. That's a good handball. McDonald decides to charge his arm and go for a run. His kick's out wide. Bowman's been left unattended. Great mark, Robbie Bowman. Stood his ground. Had Stephen Curtis thundering down on him. Now he plays on with a handball. Ralphie Sewer, charge to steady. Shot on its way into the open goal. Offline, another point. The Warriors move on to 10-9. Leading Port Adelaide, 9 goals, 7. What a game of football.
Oh, what a game of football. It's a real heart stopper. 1 goal, 2 to Ralph. VRG was pushing the back as he went to mark. Haylock was the offender. George VRG, the left footer. Comes grandstand side. Underneath that one was Lund. The out-bodied ball ace. Read the ball better. Now off to John Martin. Bomber Clifford was there. He let the ball go through to Harvey. He couldn't mark. Now Curtis, strong as ever. He bursts his way through, gets the handball out to Bomber. Bomber's tackled when not in possession and will take the free kick. Well, will o' the wisp. Knew he had no chance. Left foot kick came out to Rusty Boyd. He's been a reasonably good player today, Russell Boyd. He's taken some fine marks. His kick goes forward. But underneath that one is Des O'Dwyer, forward Norwood player. Settle in well to the Woodville defence. His kick goes forward. Underneath this one's Taylor. Up he goes, punched away by Martin Leslie yet again. Now George VRG can gather the ball in. His left foot kick goes forward, but it's going to be too wide and out of bounds on the full.
Well, there was no justice for Martin Leslie in that. He was doing all the hard body work. Superb spoil. Then he applied to Shepherd. Unfortunately, his teammate George Fiarchi let him down with a poor kick. Short pass to McDonald. honestly, Martin Leslie's defensive work's been nothing short of brilliant today. By the same token, Andrew Taylor's worked very hard, and he's probably had more possessions than Martin. Down in the direction of that player again, but it's Martin who spoils. Martin Leslie over to Anderson. Now to Harvey. Now Hardy's got a panic. He can run. He's too quick for Fuller. Spears out a pass looking for Smith. It's going to fall short of that play, but he picks it up beautifully for a big man. Back one way, then the other. Kicks on its way. It's plenty of distance. Oh, I think it's a goal. What a goal. Into the breeze. 50 metres out to kick around his body, and that was absolutely magnificent. Port Adelaide back in the game. 10-7. Trailing Woodville by 2 points, 10-9.
Oh, you've called it well, Kim. What a great goal it was for goal number 2 for Darren Smith. Harvey it was who provided the run from the back line. Smith gathered it in with the left arm. With kick number 10, he had nowhere to go, around his body, 50 metres out, kicking into a strong breeze. It went right through the middle for a miraculous goal.
We've seen some absolutely brilliant football today. The bounce favours Baker. Baker tried to tap it back to Clifford. Couldn't find that player. Through comes Fiacci. Fiacci round his body. Schwartzley's in the chase for the ball. He's been a good player. Nice clean grab, but great tackle by O'Brien. Managed to nudge him over the boundary line just as he was about to deliver that kick. And this game's been nip and tuck all the way. O'Dwyer front position, down towards Harris, trying to burst his way through. A little bit lucky then. Kevin Harris made no attempt to get rid of that. He decided he wanted to bust his way through the pack, but he couldn't do it. Anderson. Amazing the way he can always get the ball to his boot, even when in the most awkward positions.
Yes, good shot of the crowd there. Capacity crowd at Woodville Oval. Somewhere in the order of 8,000 or 9,000 people, and certainly that could be a Woodville Oval record. Fiacci on the right foot, he goes. Underneath that one will be Max Parker, and in the back pocket, the 250-game veteran will mark. Been a great player for the Warriors over the years, Parker.
Certainly has, David. 250 games, but just looking at that crowd, they're absolutely jam-packed. I wouldn't be surprised if there's 10,000 here.
Well, you might be right, Kim. No doubt it's a good crowd. Martin Leslie has the ball. Been brought back, however, and the free kick. I can't see it's gone to, it looks like Templeton. In fact, it is. Now Michael Templeton, centre wing, drives the ball forward. It's a long kick. Haylock was underneath that one, so too Steve Curtis, but Haylock's punched the ball away from his opponent and out of play. We've played just on 20 minutes into the third term. It's been a nutcracker, this game, a real hard-fought affair. Fiacci had the ball smothered off the boot by Haylock. Now Bowman, around his body it goes. Ralph Sewer's there, you can't mark Ralph. Now onto the left foot, on the right foot, zips out. Why has he called that? Off he goes. The kick's coming around. Underneath that one was Ebert, he punched the ball clear. Now Rogers with Alan Kennedy, and at the bottom of the pack it was Colin McDonald. Well, certainly some exciting play there. Templeton at the bottom of the pack, it was, with McDonald. And umpire Rick Kinnear will bounce. Libas is there, so too David Baker. Baker got the tap, goes in the direction of Alan Kennedy, but coming through was John Harvey. His kick goes wide, and in fact it's too wide, out of bounds on a full, and Ron Fuller will take the free kick.
Well, these next 5 or 6 minutes, David, could tell the story of the game. Woodville need to open up some sort of lead to have a chance in the final quarter. Ball at the back of the pack comes to ground. Now McDonald in there, quick handball over to Haylock. He tried to get it on to Martin. Players falling over left, right and centre. George Fiacci's in there. So too is Harris. He tried to bullock his way through. Harvey. Fiacci it was. Now round his body it's Templeton. He couldn't kick that. No, he hasn't. It's offline for a point.
Well, we saw him kick a miraculous goal in the first term, the 14-minute mark of the first term. Kicked a beauty. He's capable of anything. And now Martin Leslie will bring the ball back in from full back. It appears that they've shifted Andrew Taylor to full forward, the Warriors. Up goes Anderson. He flew before acceptances, and Ron Fuller will take the free kick.
Well, the crowd's not happy again, David, but that is a correct decision. If you try to go for the leap and you don't get your hand to the ball, you've got to cop the penalty.
I think that's true now. Ron Fuller on the point of the 50-metre square. He's too far out to score. He decides to chip short. On the lead's Ralph Sewer. Ralph's run in and marked in front of Kevin Harris. Now Ralph's about 55 to 60 metres out, but he's a beautiful kick. Kick number 9 for him. He has the breeze at his back. It's coming around. It's a big torpedo punt. It's gone through. Good work, Ralph Sewer. Goal number 2 for him. In fact, 2 goals, 2. As Woodville advanced to 11 goals, 10. 76. Leading Port Adelaide, 10 goals, 7. 67. Top action on Sevens Big League.
Ralph Sewer, the Woodville veteran, the screw punt. He started it way out to the left, but look at the way he curled that one back, assisted by that breeze. Now the Warriors have to get this straight out of the centre and score again. They've got to be at least, I'd say, David, 3 or 4 goals up into this final quarter to be any chance in this game.
I think you're right, Kim, but gee, it's been a hard-fought affair. Baker with the tap goes down to Ginniver. We haven't seen much of him. Now Smith with Des O'Dwyer, and O'Dwyer's marked. That's been a good duel today. Smith has 2 goals, but I think Des O'Dwyer's also done a fine job. As the ball comes down to the back of the pack, Arlen Kennedy was there. His left foot kick went forward. Harrison got a ball bounce. Alex Lunn off to John Martin. Warriors have got time for 1 or 2 more if they're good enough, but back there yet again. The old Magpie black and white rock of Gibraltar, Steve Curtis. His kick is high. Underneath that one's Harrison. He has the ball punched away from him. Harvey shrugs the tackle. Forward he goes. Arlen Kennedy is there and he's marked. Des O'Dwyer couldn't punch the ball clear. In fact, it's O'Brien. Michael O'Brien, 2 goals, but too far out to score. 2 goals from limited opportunities. The kick is a wobbly old one. It's swinging around. Through comes Bomber Clifford. He's done everything right for the Magpies today, except that kick maybe. That wasn't such a good one. It's hit the point post and will be out of play. Been a good player, Bomber Clifford.
Yeah, he's been like salt and pepper, David. He's been in everything.
He's had 18 kicks and something like 3 or 4 handballs. We're just into time on of the 3rd term.
Johnson tried to tap it back down towards Ginniver. Now Johnson butters up himself, doing all the hard work at the bottom of the pack. In there's Darren Smith as well. Another dead heat, and umpire Rick Kinnear will bounce 20 metres out from the Magpie goal. Russell Johnson Parker got the tap over the back, looking for Haylock. It's ended up with Clifford offline. Another point.
Well, I don't think he could believe his luck, Bomber.
Well, he's in the right place at the right time. And he's been closely checked today, and he's still picked up kicks.
As the kick comes wide, underneath that one is Schwartz. He's marked. Now he'll play on. They're going out wide, the Warriors. Perhaps the centre of the oval might be a better way to go. John Harvey keeps the ball in front of him, and he's looking for the boundary line. He's able to keep the ball in. Back it goes to Kennedy. His kick goes forward. Underneath that was O'Brien, who ran under the ball. Now Colin McDonald. Through was Harrison. Diving on the ball was Russell Johnston. And a pack has developed and a ball up will take place.
Haven't seen a lot of Harrison today. He's been a fairly quiet player. In fact, he's only had 6 kicks and 1 handball for the game. Ron Fuller in there. Couldn't get the ball clear. We've had a minute of time on in this 3rd quarter.
Kim, I don't think that Russell Johnston's had the influence on this game that he's exerted over others.
No, well, David Baker's been having a run on the ball, but I think we're all aware of how pumped up Max Parker was for this game, and he hasn't given Russell Johnson much room at all. Off the chest of Ginniver. Rogers in there, and will receive the free kick. Very cool customer, Andrew Rogers. Goes about his business in a very workmanlike fashion. Kick number 10 out to James Fantasia. Fantasia plays on quickly to Alex Lunn. He's always running, this chap. He chips out a pass. It's a poor kick, though. They've let themselves down badly on a number of occasions when going into attack with kicking like that. Now it's Harrison. He chips out a short pass to Ginniver. Templeton polices the mark. Ginniver spears out a pass looking for Fiarchi. Big spoil by Jacob Smith. Rowan Smith back into the game. He was a sensation in the 1st quarter and a half, into an open goal. Straight through the middle, and the Magpies are 2 points behind. They move on to 11 goals, 8. Trailing Woodville, 11-10, the action on Sevens Big League.
Oh, what good action it is with kick number 12. Rowan Smith has brought up his 3rd goal. The ball came in long from Ginniver. Smith got the punch away, but look at this pickup. And flanked by Anderson on one side, Fiarchi on the other. He was told he was clear. He had the opportunity of a bounce. and then straight into an open goal. And against the breeze, that's a good goal. It brings them back within 2 points of the Warriors, and we've certainly got a game on our hands.
There's no doubt about that. Levis in the ruck, Baker up the higher, down towards Colin McDonald. He weaves his way through now, kicks one around his body, only to find the mark taken by Alan Kennedy, and that was a good mark. Kennedy plays on quickly. Pass goes on to Greg Boyd, running down from his half-back flank. Magpies getting back into the thick of things now. His kick's out wide. Jackby will lead in the chase for the ball. He's got to get round a couple of the players. Handball over the top towards Lunn. Lunn's lost possession, working hard. O'Brien, there's a cruise tackle by Desi O'Dwyer. He's disappointed, but he definitely fell over the top of O'Brien. O'Brien, I doubt whether he could kick a goal from here. He's a good kick. He's a long way out, kick number 6. He's got to contend with that breeze. He starts it off left to right. That was the correct thing to do. And the ever-reliable Mr. Max Parker back there manages to get his hand on that one and force it through for a point. So 1 point the different, David.
Yes, interesting, Kim, that both captains, Russell Johnson and Max Parker, both wear the number 1 Guernseys. It's rare that happens these days. Free kick is on. Looks like it's going back to Libis. He handballs off to Ron Fuller. Fuller goes straight down the oval. Who's there again? But Martin Leslie, and he's marked. Oh, he's been a good player, Martin Leslie. The handball's a good one off to Anderson. The running player was Russell Boyd. Forward he goes. Underneath that one's Bomber Clifford. He's up. He got a hand to it. Des O'Dwyer had the quick kick smothered by Darren Smith. Got a free kick from pushing the back at the same time. Max Parker and Darren Smith remonstrating. Siren goes to end the 3rd term here at Woodville Oval. The Warriors, 11 goals, 10-76. Just one solitary point ahead of Port Adelaide. 11 goals, 9-75. And the actions come to you on 7's Big League.
Final quarter at Warrior Park, and Woodville lead by 1 point. And what a game of football it's been. Russell Johnson back in the ruck for the last quarter. Decides to grab this one. Players besiege upon him.
Oh, Kim, I think we're in for a great last term.
Well, if you're a betting man, David, you'd have to go with Port Adelaide. They were aided by a 4 or 5 goal breeze. But, gee, anything can happen the way Woodville are playing lately.
Gee, you couldn't write Woodville off yet. Coming through it was Templeton. He was dispossessed. In fact, he gave away a free kick, and it's going to Bomber Clifford. Bomber's been a star today with 20 kicks already, and we've only just started the final term. I think he's also had about 3 or 4 handballs. So good play to Bomber. His kick is a long one. It's gone 75 metres forward it goes. There's no one home for the Magpies, however, as Alex Lunn runs back to gather the ball in. And he heads for the safety of the boundary line. Port Adelaide supporters looking for a free kick for deliberate.
You'd have to be a very brave umpire to award that free kick.
Well, I suppose it was deliberate, but when you're that far away, it's very hard to really give a free kick. Max Parker got the tap down to Haylock. His kick went very, very high. Underneath that one's Livers, but Bowman's come in. He got a hand to it, but couldn't mark. Now Craig Ebert. Bomber Clifford. He held Harris. Harris has played on. The umpires allowed the advantage. A B-grade bounce went against Templeton. Now Ralphie Sewer zip-zapping his way through centre half forward. He has a bounce. Nearly bounced over his shoulder. He goes goalward. It's gone through. Oh, great play, Ralph Sewer. That's his 3rd goal. And what a timely one it was for the Warriors. They now advance to 12 goals, 10-82. Leading Port Adelaide, 11 goals, 9-75.
Well, that was beautiful play. The pass came out towards Templeton, but it was an awful bounce. And have a look at the effort of Ralph Sewer here. He stole that away from his Port Adelaide opponent. It was kick number 10 for Sewer. He zipped and he zapped. He got around his Port Adelaide defender, then steadied and popped it through. And have a look at Ralph in the end here. Do you think he wasn't very happy about that? Take that, he said.
Or something like that, Kim. Anyway, back at centre. This could develop into a great quarter of football. Harris gathers the ball in. The quick handball went out to Templeton. Wide now to Haylock. The Warriors are running. Forward it goes on the lead. Out came Nichols. He couldn't mark. Harvey got the handball away and it went to Taylor. He handballed off to Colin McDonald into an open goal. He's gone. Oh, that's just what the Warriors wanted. What action. Top action coming to you on 7's Big League as the Warriors advance to 13 goals, 10. Port Adelaide is still stuck on 11 goals, 9. And what a game.
Incredible stuff. The the ball came to ground. Nichols tried to take the one-hander, couldn't do it. And look at Bowman, he comes through at 100 miles an hour. The ball went out to Taylor, back to McDonald. They got their second goal in as many minutes, and let's see what Port Adelaide can bounce back with.
Well, they'll need something here, Kim. It's a real test of their character to get back from here. Even though they've got the strong breeze, I think the Warriors have got the adrenaline pumping. Johnson got the tap down. Bomber Clifford, the quick kick away. Out wide is Phil Harrison. He's still running. Alex Lane hotly on his shoes. Now Harrison with a kick forward. O'Brien's there. Schwartz contesting with him. Now O'Brien handballs after Bomber Clifford. It hasn't gone out of play now, Naz. And what a muck-up that was.
Well, both Port Adelaide players thought the ball had gone out of play. You've got to play to that whistle. Parker front position, tried to tap it out the back to Haylock. Now Baker in there, Haylock in again. Fiarchi, Schwartz. Neither player could take control of the ball.
It's 13 points to lead to the Warriors, and their reserves did exactly that, Kim, didn't they?
They certainly did. It was a great comeback by the reserve side. They were down, kicking into the breeze, but they hang on for grim death, and it was a superb effort. Livers couldn't take the mark. Fell over the top of Johnson, and the free kick will go to Russell Johnson. Johnson plays on quickly, chips out a pass, looking for Fiarchi over the head of that player. Russell Boyd in there, so too is Harris. Boyd comes out the victor. Over to Anderson. He uses his pace, straightens on the left boot. Have a look at that for a kick. It's gone about 70 metres, but the accuracy wasn't there. So it's a point. Port Adelaide move on to 11 goals, 10, trailing the Warriors 13 goals, 10.
He's a powerful kicker of the football, is Greg Anderson. Max Parker, the 250-game veteran, chips out from fullback and has found Ron Fuller. Anderson and Fuller have been immediate opponents today. They've both played well. 13 kicks to Fuller, 15 kicks to Anderson. The kick goes wide now. Out underneath that one is Jacquier. Darren Smith has given him plenty of attention. Jacquier wants to play on. He has now. Des Dwyer. Bomber Clifford hot on his tail. The kick is a long one, looking for Taylor. But there's Martin Leslie. He couldn't mark. Steve Curtis. Boy, gee, he's been a good player, Curtis. So too's Rowan Smith as the kick goes forward. Still directed in Steve Jacquier's mark. He does a soft shoe shuffle. Sachets sideways and has found John Martin. So I'd say that, Kim, when you're excited. Now Rowan Smith off to Martin Leslie. What a bottler of a game we've got on our hands. Up goes Darren Smith. It was punched away from him. Now Bomber Clifford this way, that way. Handballs over to Baker. Baker chips around his body, lines up the goals. It could bounce through. It has. What a great goal to David Baker. Oh, Russell Even couldn't have asked for anything more. A great goal to the big fella just when they needed it. They were 13 points down. A point left them 12, and now a goal. They're only 6 points down.
Well, I was about to say that Bomber Clifford is starting to look a bit tired, but he's still coming up with the ball. This time he got it back to Baker, and that was a superb goal. In fact, that was absolutely brilliant. What a snapshot for a big fella.
Well, you couldn't have asked for anything more than that. The crowd certainly warming to the game. They've been involved in it all day. It's been a record crowd here at Woodville Oval. Well, it's Warrior Park now as the kick comes wide to McDonald. He got his hands to it, he's marked it. Now he plays on, they're wasting no time. Forward it goes, the big marks come from Ben Harris. What a timely mark. They moved him to fullback after Nichols had kicked his third goal, and he's done a good job on the Warrior full forward. Johnson has the ball punched away by Livers. Now Bowman, he kicked 3 in the last quarter last week, Bowman. Underneath that one, Zip-Zap Sewer, he's got the ball into an open goal, he goes. It's through. Ralphie's fourth. He's kicked 2 this quarter, and isn't he a happy man?
Well, age shall not weary them. There's no doubt about it. 33 years or 34 years of age, and still possesses all that brilliance of yesteryear. It was well read off the pack by young Bowman. He was in the right position where a rover should be. He speared out the pass, looking for Sewer. Sewer got underneath that one, kept his balance brilliantly. There's that sidestep again, around his opponent, and speared another one through the middle for his fourth. And just to keep the Port Adelaide side at bay.
2 straight kicks the difference as Bowman gathers the ball in off the back. He's flipped over by Anderson. They mean business out there, neither side giving an inch. It's a crucial game for both sides. Woodville sitting 6th. Port Adelaide fourth. The win to both sides is very important. Now Fuller, Anderson's opponent. Off he goes with a handball to McDonald. He's got plenty of run left. On the left foot he goes, wide to Haylock. Haylock can gather the ball in. He sells the dummy. Well tackled, however, and Ben Harris receives the handball. Long torpedo kick goes forward. Alex Lund's there. He got hand the ball. Now Anderson. He's tried everything to get the Magpies going, Anderson. His kick is a beauty up forward. The punch came from Parker. Now Schwartz fumbling the ball. He punches it on to Lund. Good work. Now Des O'Dwyer. He kicks the ball in the area, but he's received a free kick for too high. Oh, desperate play in this final term. The umpire signal time on as Des O'Dwyer gets up to take the free kick.
And I said earlier in the game, David, about the being impressed about the approach that Peter Schwartz has had on the ball today, and you give him 10 out of 10 for that. It's been very direct.
Very strong as O'Dwyer's kick comes forward. Taylor it is with the mark at centre wing. He got a knee in the coccyx. I hope I said that right. Taylor, long kick forward. Underneath that one's Martin Leslie. He's gathered the ball in. The kick away came to McDonald. The handball over the top. Went to Templeton. His kick is a long one forward. Ralph Sewers there. He's been a star. He nearly got it. Hand the ball. Now it's Nichols over the top of the ball. Ben Harris with a relieving kick out to Stephen Curtis.
Oh, what a game of football. Curtis plays on. Well, lucky to get out of that. Nearly ran himself in trouble. Out to Rowan Smith. There's something always happens when he gets the ball, but he didn't get it that time. Now he has. He's been awarded a free kick for being grabbed without possession. It did appear he was going to take that ball, but he got a terrible bounce. Kick number 14 for Rowan Smith. Ran very close to the man on the mark. It's a high kick. Parker front position. Couldn't take the mark. Fiacci off hands. It was smothered off the boot. Lund's back there. Keeps the ball in play. Tried to get the handball over to Jacquia. Jacquia tapped it back to Lund. Now in turn it goes over to Schwartz. Schwartz kicks, not a good one. McDonald gets back there. Did well to spoil that. And the free kick has been awarded to the big ruckman and Terry Livers, grabbed without possession.
Oh, the Magpie fans are standing on their seats. They're not happy with that decision. Livers got the kick forward. Underneath that one was Anderson. At the front was Russell Johnston. The man in front should have the kick. That's the way umpire Rick Kinnear has seen it. Now Russell Johnson, centre wing, Magpie captain. Hasn't started today, but he's been a serviceable player. Darren Smith, Des O'Dwyer was in his back. No free kick. Now James Fantasia. Out wide to Harris. Curtis is on his tail. Greg Boyd. On the left foot he goes. Out wide to Bomber Clifford. There's not a man within 30 yards of him. If the ball can bounce for him, he's away. He waits for it, picks it up, chips over the top. Who's there but Alex Lund?
Played a great hand today. He's been a real star in defence. Kick number 13. It's a short one. Didn't carry to Fantasia. They might have got themselves in a bit of trouble here. Smith puts it back towards the head of the square. Jack. Play on the call. No, it's not. It's a free kick. That's the correct decision. If he'd been able to get a hand to it, it could have been play on, but he didn't touch the ball, so it's got to be a Port Adelaide free kick.
Looks like Michael O'Brien. He has the ball. Jackie took the risk and it didn't come off. Kick number 7 for O'Brien. It's right through the middle. That gives him his third for the game. He only got one last week. He was off in the first term. And now Michael O'Brien. Goal number for him. Port Adelaide advanced to 13 goals, 10-88. Leading Woodville 14 goals, 10.
Well, there's only a goal in it. The short pass came unstuck. There we see it. Jacquia, he had his eyes on the ball, but unfortunately you can't infringe on a player like that unless you actually touch it.
In fact, it's the Warriors, Kim, by 6 points. I called that Port were in front.
I picked you up, David. I'll look after you.
As the bounce comes down, the tap away came from Livers. Baker roved at the opposing ruckman. Forward it went. O'Brien had the ball punched away from him by Schwartz. Lund heads for the safety of the boundary line. An educated punch and a throw-in will take place. 14 goals, 10 Woodville, 94. Port Adelaide, 13 goals, 10-88. And that cracker of a game at Warrior Park.
It certainly is, and these two sides have met 48 times, and only once has the margin been less than a goal, and Port Adelaide won on that occasion. The spoil by Jacquia. Fiacci in there, well tackled by Jacquia. Appeared to hold the ball, play on the call. Clifford in there, another great tackle. Fiacci tackled Fantasia too high. Gee, talk about desperate football. This is unbelievable.
Well, that's the way it should be, Kim. Two good sides. Woodville have won their last 3 games. In fact, they're going for a club record 4 in a row. Andrew Rogers has improved as the game's gone on. So's McDonald. David Baker standing the mark. Kick number 15 for McDonald.
He wanted to get it in quick, then one-on-one with Taylor and Leslie. Over the head, oh gee, the ball's bouncing everywhere today. This oval certainly dried out well. Templeton keeps it in play beautifully. Oh, just went over the line. The umpire picked that up. What a game of football. We've had 12 and a half minutes of this final quarter. And the Warriors lead by 1 straight kick.
Throw-in comes in. David Baker's there. So too Livis. Haylock and McDonald. McDonald got the handball away. Kevin Harris put back to Livis. It's behind his back. He couldn't gather it in. Haylock's over the top of Harvey. No free kick. Now play on Arlen Kenny. Tries to burst it back. Livis is over his shoulder. So the free kick going against Terry Livis. Arlen Kennedy, the left footer with the free kick. He wastes no time. Forward he goes underneath that one's ball. Lays at the front. Des O'Dwyer from behind punched. Jennifer's kick was smothered. Now Des O'Dwyer with the handball off to Lund. McDonald. Handballs back to Des O'Dwyer. The kick is long. No one home. Only Ralph Stewart. Andrew Taylor's come in. Bursting through is Kevin Harris. Gee, he's a strong player. Now Haylock. He goes goalward bound. Anyone home for the Warriors? Ben Harris punches it away from Stephen Nichols and out of play.
Done everything right back there, David, since being moved from the back pocket to full-back. Nichols has only kicked 1 goal on him, and there was nothing that Ben Harris could do about that one. It was a beautiful pass, and Harris did everything right then. Beautiful spoil. Big fist away by Baker. Gains his side about 10 metres. Well, the breeze has definitely died down a little bit, David, but it's still favouring the Magpies, and I'd say to be still possibly a 3 to 4 goal breeze.
I tend to agree with you, Kim, and what a great achievement it would be if the Warriors can pull off a victory in Max Parker's 250th game. The win would probably put him into the 5. Coming towards Arlen Kennedy, he had his head pulled off. No, beg your pardons. He gets up, wastes no time again. Colin McDonald running back on it, but Bomber Clifford's there, and he's marked. Bomber's tried his heart out for the Magpies today. He'll go straight down in the field, right down the middle. Rowan Smith is there. The punch came away from Steve Jacquier. Now Bowman. Handball's off to Haylock. The Warriors are running. They're kicking into the breeze, but they've got plenty of movement. Livis had the ball unsighted over his shoulder. Now he gathers it in. Sells the dummy well for a big fella. Now he goes towards Nichols at full forward. Hard body work. Ralph Sewer's there. Now Templeton with a handball off to Nichols. Big and get around. Curtis is clear. Kevin Harris. It's a throw.
Well, I was watching Stephen Nichols. He didn't dispute the decision. So I'll have to agree with the umpire. It was too far away for us to see. Pass comes out quickly from Curtis and finds Jennifer. Jennifer just slowing up play a little bit. Now with a short pass, rather risky pass out looking for ball ace. It was well directed. He took the mark just in front of his opponent, Alex Lund. They're just steadying play up a little bit here, the Magpies. Good spoil by Des O'Dwyer. Rowan Smith tries to keep the ball in place.
James Fantasia there. John Martin. Ball is out of play. Centre wing. Certainly a great game of football. There's only 1 goal the difference. 14-10 Woodville, 13-10 the Magpies. It's running backwards. Colin McDonald, he's taken a good mark. It's a courageous grab. Now he decides to move it quickly. Greg Boyd was there, so too Ron Fuller. Fuller and Anderson have had an interesting duel in the centre. Probably coming out even on the day. Number 3 is Bomber Clifford. He's had a day out today. Been a good player. Fuller with the kick. Forward it goes. Underneath that one's Haylock. Punched away from him by Ebert. The handball came over the top, but Rusty Boyd was there to take it out of play in front of John Martin. So we played 17 minutes into the final term. Spine-tingling finish to this game. Woodville kicking against the breeze. Port Adelaide with the breeze, but they haven't been able to capitalise. As Anderson goes off to Bomber Clifford. Forward he goes, and Darren Smith's there. Now he'll play on. The goal square's unprotected. If the kick's a long one, it's not. Now underneath that one, Michael O'Brien, he couldn't mark it. Gathers the ball in now on the right foot. He goes goalward, but it's out of bounds on the full. An opportunity lost.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to kick from that angle, David. It's a valiant attempt. The breeze coming across his body. He always had the job in front of him there. Max Parker, the last line of defence. It's a good kick. Front position is Livers. Well spoiled by Baker. And Livers has done a very good job since coming into the ruck.
He certainly has, Kim, and I've also been impressed with the work of David Baker in ruck for Port Adelaide.
Well, Baker's a good player. He's been very unfortunate. He could have played a lot more league football if it wasn't the fact that Port Adelaide have had Johnson, Dexter Kennedy, and a number of other big men in recent years to keep him out of the side.
I think he's developing now, though, and he certainly could be a force for them in the years to come. As Darren Smith got the tap down to Ginniver. On the left foot he goes. Could it bounce through? No, it can't. Max Parker's there. Hand the ball, and Peter Schwartz is happy to take it across the line for yet another throw-in. It's 20 metres around from the right behind post, the Port Adelaide forward line. They trail by 6 points. They need a goal here. Max Parker with the handball off to McDonald. He fumbled it. Over the top was Fiarchi appealing for the free kick. Now Bowman dives on the ball. Desperate work from the young Warrior Rover, and a ball up will take place.
Well, this game's been an absolute delight to watch. Honestly, you'd pay $100 to see football like this. It's been excitement from go to woe. James Fantasia, quick kick away, out towards Fuller. Fuller's been a good player. Oh, the moment you say it, they always let you down. He tried to turn that one back inside the boundary line. Unfortunately, it's gone out on the full, and his direct opponent, Greg Anderson, will take the free kick. Anderson's pass wasn't good. It was low. It was taken by Alex Lund. He's been flanked by McDonald. McDonald's pass was also low. Templeton couldn't take it. Rogers comes through. And the Woodville centreman, Ron Fuller, was quite happy to see that ball go over the boundary line.
Yes, we've played 20 minutes into the final term. I think the Warriors are playing the boundary line. They're trying to restrict the scoring opportunities of the Magpies. Now Fuller out to Fantasia. He stays over the top of the ball courageously. Now he gets his kick away. Forward to Taylor Martin. Leslie's warned him well. Boyd got the handball away. Through came Rogers. Been a great player at centre half back. Nichols is there with Ben Harris. Too good, Ben Harris. Read the ball better. Now Harris will go out wide. They've combined well today, Curtis and Harris.
Magpies players are starting to run. Curtis had Fiarchi, he also had Boyd, but he's decided to go long, looking for Ginniver. Spoiled, Russell Boyd it was, spoiled away from that player. Kevin Harris first to recover, sold the dummy beautifully. Now the handball over towards Martin. Martin in turn onto Haylock. Haylock's been flanked by Templeton, decides to go it alone and kick it to Nichols. Nichols was pushed in the back. Well, the umpire indicated he was held. He was dragged down.
Kim, they could have played the advantage there. If McDonald had been prepared to go on with it, I think the umpire would have been forced to call play on.
Well, Stephen Nichols is a natural left footer. Let's see what he can do here. Already has 4 goals. As if he was to kick this goal, that'd give him a record for any Woodville player against Port Adelaide at Warrior Park. Nice looking kick off the boot. Unfortunately, the accuracy is not there, so that gives him a personal tally of 4 goals too. And Woodville now lead by 7 points.
Nichols kicked 3 of those goals in the first term from limited opportunities. Since Ben Harris has gone back onto him, he's only been able to get 1 goal too. Harris's kick is straight down the centre. David Baker did the shepherding work. In fact, the umpire has seen it. The free kick will go to Terry Livers. He's done a good job in ruck today. Max Parker went to the back lines. Livers into the ruck. Now out wide looking for Ralph Sewer. He's up. He couldn't mark. John Harvey is there. Paddles out the handball to Russell Boyd. Now the handball comes to Craig Even. Straight down the middle he goes. Underneath that one's Darren Smith and Des O'Dwyer. O'Dwyer couldn't gather it in. Now ball lays over the top to Curtis, down from his back pocket. His left foot kick is out wide. In fact, it may even go across the line and out of play, and that's what it does. 22 minutes gone to the final term. 95 plays 88. It's the Warriors by 7 points.
Well, this is a great game of football. I still can't pick a winner. Anybody's game. It's got to go right down to the wire. Parker in there, his 250th game. Kick comes in around the body. Harris in there, so too is Boyd over the top of that, and the ball trickles over the boundary line. What a game of football.
Yes, Russell Boyd and John Martin have had a fine duel on centre wing today. Both players have given all for their sides, and I think whatever the outcome of this game, both coaches can be proud of their teams. Livis with the quick kick away. Underneath that one's Curtis, courageously stood his ground. Now Greg Boyd with the handball out to Rowan Smith. Rowan Smith on the left foot, looking towards centre half forward. Dave Fantasia read the ball better off the pack. Now Ginniver on the left foot, dropping back as Alex Lunn. Michael O'Brien's there to compete. And good work from Michael O'Brien. He's been able to force the ball across the line. That gives them one more point. They're now only one straight kick down.
What a great game of football. A crowd of 10,000 absolutely enjoying this game. A superb match. Schwartz kicks long. They've managed to get the ball down to the wing area. It's 3-on-1 if they can keep it in play, but they can't. Alan Kennedy looks exhausted.
He's worked very hard today.
Oh, every player's given 100%, David. This has been one of the fastest games of league football I've seen. Some of the tackling in this game's been amazing. Little Robbie Bowman over the top of that, couldn't take it. Out of play again. We're about a minute away from time on. I'd say 90 seconds from time on. And the Warriors lead by 1 goal. Players shouting encouragement to each other. Livis with the tap, and he put his hand on the shoulder of David Baker. Baker doesn't appear to be in any real hurry to get the ball on, but one would suggest that possibly he should.
Yes, I think that breeze seems to be dying also, Kim. I'm not sure whether that helps them or hinders them. Max Parker punched the ball away. McDonald's there. He's been strong as a rock at Gibraltar in this final term. Michael Templeton with the mark at centre wing. He won't be in too much of a hurry. Ron Fuller is calling for the ball to go along the boundary line. That's just the way it goes. Dropping back on it's Martin Leslie. The ball went over his head. Andrew Taylor punched it on. Craig Ebert looked for John Harvey. Harvey over the top of the ball. Now he gets clear to get his kick in. Back it goes. Anderson's there and he's taken position of mark. Courageous Mark Anderson. The crowd's on their feet. They appreciate that effort. Certainly in a tense finish to this game, a mark like that is what's required. So too that one. Darren Smith at centre half forward. On the left foot he goes. Underneath that one's George Fiarchi. He looked to play on.
Certainly did.
Umpire's now called play on. On the left foot he goes. Into the goal square goes the ball. Max Parker's there and he's marked. He pushed Russell Johnson out of the way and then he marked. Now to Fuller. It's cat and mouse. Port Adelaide into attack. The Warriors repelling it. Short goes the ball over to Steve Jacquier. He's got an ankle injury, but it's testimony to his courage. He's still running. It looks painful.
Taking plenty of time.
Oh, isn't he what?
Port Adelaide supporters aren't happy about that, but he's doing the right thing. Bowman there. Oh, he should have taken that uncontested. He's won a free kick for a push in the back. Well, he's rather lucky because he should have taken that mark. But no one else flying against him. Puts in a high one looking for Taylor. Leslie Baker back there. Baker spoiled when he could have marked. Leslie in there again though. Have a look at this. He's a great player, Martin Leslie. Over to Rowan Smith. He's kicked high and long. At the back is O'Brien. Smitho there as well. Now it comes out towards Jacquier. Jacquier's handball's long. Over the top to Schwartz. Schwartz in turn to Bowman. Bowman thought about another one. Now he kicks. Taylor's fallen over. So too is Leslie. And the ball beats both players over the boundary line. Well, with a minute and a half into time on, there's only 1 goal the difference, and this has been an incredible game of football.
I think Andrew Taylor was pretty keen to see that ball go across the line. Now McDonald on the left foot. Martin Leslie's there, but it's going to be out of bounds on the full, and a free kick will go to Martin Leslie. It's been a great duel today between Andrew Taylor and Martin Leslie. Certainly one of the highlights. Kick number 9 for Leslie. The kicks he's had is not an indication of how well he's played. Bomber Clifford with the quick handball. Flicked it on Kevin Harris. Back to Desai Dwyer. He goes short looking for Ralph Sewell, but who's there for John Harvey? Harvey plays on straight down the centre. Up goes Darren Smith. Couldn't mark. Now Ron Fuller. This way, that way. Now comes grandstand side. Underneath it is Michael Templeton. Greg Boyd's with him. Boyd sachets through the centre. Alan Kennedy is tackled strongly, holding the ball. Yes, it is. Now play on. They've played the advantage. Randall Jolly, who's just come back onto the field. Forward he goes, looking for Ralph Sewer. Curtis is there. Gets the handball back to Martin Leslie. Now the handball goes wide to Craig Even. Port Adelaide supporters are cheering their side on. We're 3.5 minutes into time on. Up goes the mark. Boys. The umpire has ball play on. McDonald out wide to Fuller. Port Adelaide supporters can't believe it.
No, he definitely didn't hold that mark. Definitely did not hold that mark, David.
Now Ron Fuller with an opportunity to settle the Warriors. Colin McDonald, they're playing keepings off. What a tense finish to this tense game. McDonald's kick is long. Underneath it is Libis. From behind, the punch came from Leslie. Schwartz punched the ball clear of Rowan Smith. Now George Piarchi on the left foot. He goes long into the goal square. O'Brien's back there. The siren's gone. Oh, my goodness me, what did that one? The siren's gone. The umpires have now signalled the end of the game. Woodville 14 goals, 11.95. Have defeated Port Adelaide 13 goals, 11.89. And what a game it's come to you on Sevens Big League. Bad luck, Donny.
I haven't tipped them either.
That was a tight game, wasn't it?
Yeah, good game.